Check, check. What's up, y'all? Welcome in. Hey, the microphone works. What's going on, y'all? Hope you ever had a great day. All red for Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to every single one of y'all out there. Hope you're having a great day. Mine has been kind of hectic with some doctor stuff going on, but we're back. Sorry we missed the cup practice, but it is what it is sometimes. But we thank you guys for being here and hanging out with us tonight. Already filling up the chat, almost 400 in here. Appreciate y'all already. Hit that like for us, hit the subscribe. We've been having streams like crazy, blowing them out of the water. Compared to last year, it's been a record speed weeks for us, and we're looking forward to some more tomorrow and Sunday for the Great American Race. But tonight, it's the trucks, and it's not the normal trucks from last year. We have a lot of new names in the trucks. A red hot number 5 from that Raising Cane's. That should be interesting to look at tonight. And of course, a lot of rookies have moved on. A lot of drivers have moved on to the Xfinity Series, and they're going to have their first experience in the Xfinity car tomorrow. But we have new faces in the trucks. We have some old faces like Majeski and Infinger and Heim Time. But your emojis are in the chat, guys, for you members, and make sure you're using those. And what's up, everybody? Let's go to the chat really quick. What's going on, Coila? What's going on, Ricky? Donald, what's up? Rebel X, Nicholas, Ryan Reed, what's up, CK? It's been a long time. What's up, Kyle Anderson? Good to see you, man. Gustavo, what's up? Appreciate you being here. Mad Steve, always thank you for always liking on Facebook and making a comment. That it really helps. If you see our links on Facebook, make sure you make a comment on it. It really helps the algorithm when it comes to YouTube. I trust you, it does. Georgia fan, what's up, man? Good to see you here, bro. My man Lloyd, what's up? Hello, hello, hello. Billy Bowles dropping that 71 as always. What's up? Outdoor Adventures with Samuel, what's going on? Rodney Green, hello, hello. Welcome in. Gene as well, came in a little earlier. Carter and Eric and a whole bunch of other folks. Bronny, as always, Bronny, thank you for being here. Mark Evans, Nicholas, a whole bunch of friends here tonight. We appreciate you and just coming in still. Make sure you're hitting that like for us as you're coming in. Susan, CJ channel, what's going on? We made it through the off season. Little bumpy road during the off season. We learned our lessons, but we're gonna get going. What's up, Rebel X with us? CeeLo. Luis says, "What's up, Cheryl? What's going on? Are we gonna see a flip tonight? We'll see. We missed a flip last time, so these trucks are kind of all messed up here. These are the ones I screenshotted, but new 19, no Eckes anymore. We got." That's Hemrick, Daniel Hemrick in that 19 car now. So, and then this one's all messed up too. I don't really even like, I shouldn't even have these up here like this, but I like this one too. This one, who's in this one tonight? The 7, my favorite. The 7, what's his name? Oh my God, I've forgotten. If you just want to make it easier on yourself, not say Gio's full name, I probably won't. I'll probably just say Gio. Justin Haley in that 7. Yeah, thank you, Brody. So let's get to the main screen and let's go through some of these names as we got a little setup here as well, as this is the raw feed tonight. Went on Twitter and there's a lot of people complaining about the raw feed, like really complaining. So let's take a look here. We got Thad Moffitt on the pole tonight in that 46 Toyota. Timmy Hill in that 56 Toyota. Look at Timmy Hill. Isabel 55, Parker Klingerman in that 75 Chevrolet, Lawless Allen in the 25 Toyota, Jason White back to Daytona in that 22 Ford, Jake Finch in that 25 Toyota, Clay Greenfield 95 Chevrolet, Jason Kitzmiller in that 97 Chevrolet, Spencer Boyd in the 76, Matthew Mills. Hey, we got someone that I kind of actually recognize in the trucks. Reggie May in the number 2, Norm Benning in that 6. Look at Hilo Castroneves running the trucks tonight. Oh, that'd be nice to watch that guy go. Mason Maggio in that 4, Catherine Ledge in the 23, Brian Duzat. Man, all these names I've never heard of from last year. Dawson Sutton, he's one of the rookies that we talked about in our paint scheme and weekend preview. Dawson Sutton, he's one of the rookies there. Jake Garcia back in the 13. Frankie Muniz running a full schedule as Rookie of the Year honors here for Frankie. Chandler Smith, of course, he didn't make the 500 last night, but he is in there for that as well. Sean Core in the 8, Bailey Curry in the 44, Tim Richmond in the, what was that, 27? I can't really see it. Johnny Sauter in that 66, Caleb Costner in the 17. 17th is Nathan Bird, Justin Carroll, Tyler Ankrum back in that 18 Chevrolet. Maybe he can do some stuff this year. And there's my favorite in P20, Corey Heim. It's Heim time. Get your clocks out, folks. Heim time on the clock on the 20th spot. William Swallowich, another one you're going to have to watch here. I bet Corey Heim and Swallowich come all the way to the front. They're two names you're going to watch tonight. Andres Perez there in the 77, another rookie. Garrett Mitchell, Jack Wood in that 81. Willie Mellons in that 3. Daniel Hemrick in that 19 Chevrolet. See what he has. A lot of big shoes to fill, considering Christian Eckes and how well he did in that car last year. That truck last year. Jeff Schofield in 25th. Granenfinger, the reigning defending champion, in that 9 Chevrolet. Stuart Friesen. Let's see what he can do this year. I have a good chance he's going to have to do some stuff. There's Caden Honeycutt. Now, he did a couple races last year, but he is now full-time rookie in the truck series. So he's and there's Gio. He's running for Rookie of the Year as well in that 17 Toyota. Lane Riggs, not in your 38. He's in the 34 now. I know in the paint scheme I said 38 multiple times, and it's 34. 34, Lane Riggs. And then Ben Rhodes in that number 99. Let's see if he keeps on trucking. Ben Rhodes still out there, man. There's Ty Majeski. He came so close to winning the championship. Where he's in 31st. We'll watch him come from the back. Justin Haley in the 07 tonight, not the 7. Michael McDowell. I thought it was the other way around. I thought Michael McDowell was in the 07 and Justin Haley's in the 7. So is that a typo for NASCAR.com? Nolan Wilson, Tanner Gray in that 34. He's back in there. Tanner Gray in that 15 Toyota. Tim Vines in 35th. Raj Caruth, Billy Voles, there's your boy in 35th. Becca Monopoly in 36th. Tony Brenninger. This is the girl that we're going to be watching, y'all, in that Raising Cane's bright red number 5. Connor Mozak in that 81. There's another rookie, Matthew Crafton in the 88. Alex Clubb and Braden Lester and Ed Pompta in 40th spot. So there is that. Hope you guys are ready to have some fun on this channel and ready to have a good time. So let's predict our winners here. Who do you got winning this thing? Who do you have winning? I have Heim Time, of course. I know, Bronny. Heim Time. Nope, McDowell's in the 07. Okay, so NASCAR.com has a typo. You guys are NASCAR.com. You guys should have this right. That shows you that this raw feed is messed up. Like, figure it out, y'all. The list is wrong. Well, I mean, this is what it is, right? The whole list is wrong? Is that where it's starting? Okay, well, I'm just going on what it says here. I didn't watch the qualifying. What does it say here? Was that just practice? You're looking at the ARCA list. Oh my gosh, seriously? This is not the ARCA list. This is the Craftsman Truck Series. Look, it says Craftsman Truck Series up there. Yeah, this is not the ARCA list. This is the Truck Series. All right, I don't know, man. I'm just going on what it says. Well, it says Ben Rhodes is the leader. I don't know. Thanks, NASCAR.com, for ruining my fun. I mean, it says P1, right? Okay. All right, well. See, if you click on Thad Moffitt, though, it shows him number 1. That's a mix of ARCA and truck list. Come on, NASCAR.com. This is ridiculous. All right, hold on. I'll just click on this link here. 1 second. This is dumb. I was like, man, I don't recognize any of these names. This is ridiculous. All right, well, all right, let's take a look at it again. Ben Rhodes in P1. This is ridiculous. Ben Rhodes in P1. I thought for sure, wow, that's kind of crazy. Ty Majeski in 2nd, Corey Heim 3rd, Infinger 4th. Now this is more like it. Jake Garcia, Chandler Smith, Dawson Sutton, Caden Honeycutt, Clay Greenfield, Johnny Sauter, Matt Crafton, Tanner Gray, Raj Caruth, Frankie Munoz, Daniel Hemrick, Spencer Boyd, Justin Haley, Andres Perez de Lara, Bailey Curry, Mason Maggio, Jack Wood, Norm Benning, Parker Klingerman, Matt Mills, Nathan Bird, William Swalowich, Lane Riggs, Tony Brenninger in that 5. Everybody's going to be watching her. Jason White, Connor Mozak, Michael McDowell in the 07. See, this is so weird. Josh Remnant, Timmy Hill, Gio, Stuart Friesen, and Tyler Ankrum. So there is your lineup for tonight's Fresh from Florida 250. As we're going to do 100 laps. Stage 1 is 20 laps. What's up, Matty F? Good to see you too, buddy. But thanks so much for being. I'm just going to turn these trucks things off because I don't like it. Okay, so hit that subscribe, y'all. Hit that notification bell. Hit that like for us as we're trying to get to 29,000 this weekend. We're really close. We're 250 away. It's only 2 cup guys in there. So let me go back over here. All right, so 110 likes. You guys are awesome on a truck stream already. Thanks so much, y'all. Hit that like for us. So we'll go to the raw feed if it works. We'll hang out, but this is live. Is this going to be live on TV? It's on FS1. FS1. We'll be bringing you that and the MRN radio for the coverage. So hope you guys are ready to have some fun. Pulling for Brittinger, Corey Heim, and Tanner Gray. Back to NASCAR. Brian Allen, good to see you. Christy Hoffman, hello. Rod Bryan, what's going on? Chad says, I love orange juice. All right, some OJ, keep you healthy. Steve Simmons, so many new names, so many names. I don't recognize this. I'm sure on the truck list, man. I don't know, man. It's so weird. NASCAR.com just picked the wrong week. They should have done this back in the Clash to get all these things going. But the raw feed never updated yesterday. It was a bunch of crap. but I think Corey Heim will win. Christy says. All right, so now we have the list. We have the list. Who is going to win this thing? I got Corey Heim. Let me see who you guys have. We'll start right now. We'll see right now. Is it going to show the truck? Can't show the truck race, y'all. I'm sorry. That's if you were somewhere else last night and saw it get shut down, you know why. But we don't stream the actual broadcast. It's against the law. It's illegal. But if you would get permission from Fox for us to do it for free, then more power to you. But not going to happen here. So sorry about that, y'all. But keep on hitting it. This is the best place to be, y'all. This is the best place to be. We're going to have our chats amazing, top-notch, better than any YouTube channel out there. And we want to have some fun here with you tonight. Nicholas says, I'm hoping the race streams here. Good luck. But it's on FS1 for the ones that wants it. Frankie Muniz for the win. All right. The 99 for Ben Rhodes for Outdoor. Johnny Sauter for Jimmy's Fun's videos. Where's the disclaimer, right? Yeah, exactly. Justin Haley, Georgia fan. Brittinger for William. Chris and Josie is 11. Ben Rhodes for Bronny. Look at Bronny with Ben Rhodes. And here we go. Here we go, y'all.
S1.
Oh, we gotta listen to Jamie.
Night race under the lights at the World Center of Racing. We can't wait to get started. And all the stars
It's Heim time. Let's go, baby. Clocks in the chat. It's Heim time.
Right there, Ty Majeski starting on the front row. He'll roll off second. And how about that?
Greetings, George. What's going on?
Last year came up one spot short in the championship. And Ben Rhodes, a former champion, he captured the pole today, his first since 2018.
Ben Rhodes.
Can't wait to get things started, and we're so happy to have you with us. I'm Jamie.
Oh, they're actually in the booth.
Kevin Harvick and Joey Logano, both of these gentlemen champions, both Daytona 500 champions, and they both won races in the Truck Series. So excited to have you both here. Kevin, we talk about Daytona. It's just bigger here. The nerves in that garage, you feel it when you walk in. What is so special about winning here?
Well, it's Daytona, and when you come to Daytona and you win this race, it changes the path of the conversation about your career. And what it is for these guys in the Truck Series, it's about the start of their career. What can you do in this truck to show me that you should be in the Xfinity Series or the Cup Series? So winning here can change the path of your career. And tonight, I believe just about anybody can win this race, Joey.
You're not kidding. It's Daytona. It's a super speedway. You never know you're going to win this thing until you cross the start-finish line. That's what's so exciting about these races, not only as a fan
we can do MRN
tonight, but also the drivers. You don't know you got it until
we'll probably do MRNs on the start.
The excitement of pure joy or the agony of defeat happens in a blink of an eye.
Well, Joey, yesterday there was one practice session scheduled. We had a big storm come through and it was canceled. So the only laps these drivers have had, one or two earlier in qualifying. How do they approach the start of this?
Yeah, I think what happens a lot of times is over the offseason, the teams get new parts and pieces, and this is your opportunity to try them. And I think what you see happens in qualifying, we've seen this happen in Cup cars as well, is they get out there and they have issues, whether it's fender rubs or power steering issues, those type of things. And that practice is usually that time to work through all that. They didn't get that, so hopefully everyone's got all that figured out.
All right, it's time now to go trackside for opening ceremonies.
All right, let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise as you are able. Remove your hats, and veterans render a hand salute as the Keystone Heights High School Army Junior ROTC Color Guard presents our nation's colors. Here to offer tonight's invocation, please welcome Riverbend Academy Headmaster Jason Carr.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, every good gift comes from you. Thank you for giving all the amazing talents and prospering all the hard work of all those involved in this race, from the drivers and crews to the engineers and manufacturers to the track and NASCAR leadership and personnel. Bless them in their work and bless their families to your glory. Thank you too for the fans. We ask blessing on them. And we pray by your grace for an exciting, fun race. And please keep all involved safe. In the name of the Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, amen.
And now to perform our national anthem, please welcome the Melbourne High School Choir.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars
The long off season is officially over. We are ready to go racing live from Daytona coming up.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging with us. Appreciate you being here. Let me move my sub. All right. So let's see what happens here with the raw feed. See if they update it because it's got all the wrong names in it. Race 1 of 25 this year. The trucks are doing a lot more different than they were last year. So it should be interesting to have fun. But we're trying to do as many Friday night races as we can as we're available. And looking forward to, we'll do MRN, definitely, unless someone wants to listen to Harvick and Logano and Jamie. But listen to MRN for you guys. That'll be a lot more. How can I watch the race? Christy, right here is the best place to be because it'll be up, hanging out with you guys. But if you want to go somewhere else, I'm sure you can find it. Oh, how many cautions? Let's do it. How many cautions in the chat? I'm going to go. These guys are going to go crazy tonight. I am going to go 8 cautions tonight for this group of cars. Lots of new names, lots of new faces in the house. So I think that's what I'm going to go. 8 for me. Richard says 8. Helson from Brazil, what's going on? 8 for Jaspy. What's up, Jaspy? Bronny's got 5. Ricky's got 7. 9 for Chris. All the cautions. That's right, Pierre. What's up, Pass? Good to see you. Georgia fans got 12. Raiden's got 9. Christy's got 10. T. Lee's got 7. John's got 10. CJ's got 10 or 12. Oh, we're going to be here all night. Martin says 9. Eric says 9. Who's flipping? That's all we need to know. Clayton says 7. John says 8. 5 yellows for Mad Steve. 9 for T-Van. T-Van, what's up? Donald's got 10 cautions. Maddie says 10 cautions and a fight on the track. There you go, Maddie F. Susan says 7. Billy Voles says 10. Alex says 3. Jeremy says 8. Pop says, I agree with CeeLo. 8. All right, so Jeremy and I and Pop are all together. And whoever else said 8. What's up, Big Wade? Your boy's looking good tomorrow or Sunday. 7 for Lloyd. Dallas is 213. Tim, what's going on? Good to see you. 5 with him. Kyle says 7. Rodney says 7. Chad says 9. Jimmy says 6. CJ the Great says 7. I bet the Majeski or Smith flips. We'll see what happens with these guys, man. We'll see what happens. What up, CeeLo? What's up, Bill Prada? Junior Motorsports, yeah, they're in the 500. Christy says 10. Roberto says 6. Frankie flips as he crosses the finish line for the win. Munoz, okay. Jeanette, what's going on? Good to see you as well. Craig Cooper says 7. Haley, let's go. Yes, it is. Dallas, 8 for the Mandalorian. What's going on? He's got 8 cautions. All right, there we go. Thank you guys for your input. We help you.
Drivers ready to go as they get ready to climb on board and fire those engines. But you know, guys, a new year brings a lot of new changes. We've got drivers that have moved on, drivers coming in. Here's some of them right here. Christian Eckes, Nick Sanchez, Taylor Gray, Daniel Dye, all drivers we talked a lot about last year, moving up to the Xfinity Series. How about this? Welcome back. Daniel Hemrick goes from the Cup Series.
I'm good right now, Georgia fan.
Started in the Truck Series. Chandler Smith as well.
You never know, buddy.
And this is impressive. We got a nice rookie
Polish
class this
racer?
year. 6 drivers going for that coveted title. What do you guys? 6 of them. We'll be talking a lot about them. The one right here, Tony Breidinger, coming up from the Arca Menard Series. She talked to our Regan Smith moments ago.
Well, Tony Breidinger making the move from the ARCA Series to the Craftsman Truck Series this season, full-time, running for Rookie of the Year. You have one start here at Daytona in the trucks. How is that going to help out tonight for what you're getting ready to do?
Yeah, it's nice because I feel like I know a little bit of what to expect. Obviously, it's Daytona and always brings something different, but I feel like there's less nerves going around this time, second time at it. So, yeah, I'm feeling good.
Starting 28th, a little bit of work to do from the back of the pack here, but does that allow you to kind of feel it out early on?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think we want to stay back here for too long, but yeah,
she
definitely
is.
get a feel for it, make our way up, and make some moves.
Good luck tonight. Thanks.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Driving for Tricon Garage. So here are the rookies, gentlemen. Anybody stand out to you?
Well, I've been fortunate to spend some time with Dawson Sutton. We race late models for the Rackley War team, so it's been fun hearing his questions and things leading into the anticipation of not only this race, but really every race. And tonight will be a steep learning curve.
Well, I think that's the biggest thing for these rookies. They need to go out there and make mistakes. I think
I might try to, Georgia fan.
They have to do. If you're just going to sit in line the whole race, you're going to get done at the end of the day and say, did I really learn how to work the draft?
38 all day, Sergeant Bob. good to see you
That's the
back.
stuff that's going to help them progress in the rest of their career. So my advice would be go out there, make the moves, make the mistakes. Don't wreck your car, but make the mistakes so you have a chance to learn to be better.
And it's Valentine's Day. Red, red, red.
Sutton, very impressive today. He only has a handful of truck starts. He came out today, qualified in the top 10. So you see him getting strapped in, the wheels going on. It's that time. Let's go trackside for the most famous words in racing.
Daytona International Speedway, are you ready to get the Fresh from Florida 250 started? Here to give the command to fire engines is Fresh from Florida's executive chef and culinary ambassador, Chef Justin Timoneri.
Drivers, start your engines!
Engines are fired. 250 miles of racing.
All right. So what is up, everybody? Appreciate you being here. Hit that like. We're trying to get to 200 likes. We're over 500 people in here. Try to get to 200 likes. Let's go on from there. Appreciate everybody being here. Thank you so much for hanging out with us here on the Go at CeeLo. We appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. This Speed Weeks has been 10 times better than it was the last year. We also have grown. So also we're trying to grow some more. So up there in the top corner is our sub count, 28,753. We would love to get to 29,000 this weekend. And if we can do that, you'll get 2 pies in the face on Sunday for the 500. 2 pies in the face for the Sunday for the 500 here that we'll be carrying here on our channel as well. So hit that subscribe up there. Let's hit that to 29. We're so close. We're under 300 subs now to 29K. CeeLo's in his happy place. I'm trying to be. Can you get the cameras? Not on the trucks. We never, remember, we didn't do the cameras at all last year for the trucks. They weren't available at all. And they're not available for the Xfinity anymore. They're only available for Cup, but it's on HBO Max. So there's our problem. It's not free anymore. That used to be on a website that used to be free, but now this is a paid subscription. So I don't think HBO Max would have a hard time letting me do that for free if they charge people or people are charging them to watch it. I don't think they would appreciate me showing it for free. Do you not think so? I think so. So we're going to try to work out a deal with HBO Max. I'm trying to contact them to see if they would let us promote the cams on our channel. I'm working on it. So thank you guys. The ARCA race is tomorrow. So it's the same thing when you see you guys come in here and ask if we want to show the broadcast. Do you not think Fox pays a lot of money to show the race on the channels? Do you think it would be that? Do you think they would let that happen? No. CeeLo would be knocking on CeeLo's. Yeah, they would. They would. So, but we're going to be listening to MRN radio here tonight. Do you have Max? I do have Max. I've been watching them. Just I don't really like, and it's not the same cameras as last year, y'all. They don't have the battle cam and the aerial cam that we were so spoiled with last year. And it's only one in-car camera inside the car. It's not the in-car cameras they use on TV. It's only inside the car, so it's not even a good shot. So I'm not very impressed with HBO Max, but if they would let us, I would be willing to do it. So, but we'll see how it goes. But thank you guys so much for being here. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. And we're trying to get to 300 likes and 28,800 tonight for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. First race of 25 races. Stage 1 is 20 laps. Stage 2 is 20 laps. And then stage 3 is 60, I believe. So we're looking forward to a 100-lap race, 250 miles here at the great Daytona International Speedway. All right. Here we go.
Hey, Ty, Kevin, and Joey and Jamie up in the Fox booth. Back as the champion this year in Daytona. I know that doesn't make anything good for this year, but it's got to feel good coming back as a champ. Tell me what you expect tonight out of your truck with no practice and what you think will happen as we go through the night.
It's still not on there.
I'm excited to,
and that's so
to be
stupid.
Here, first of all, This is actually a brand new truck, so the first lap that this thing has seen the racetrack was today in qualifying. And sometimes when you build a super speedway truck, you don't know what you're going to get. And yeah, it's got speed right off the bat here, so looking forward to it. Daytona obviously turns into a little bit more of a handling track than typically Talladega is. So yeah, handling's going to come into play tonight. Hopefully we can make the right adjustments and keep this Sodersense Ford F-150 up front all night.
All right, man. Have a great night.
I appreciate it, guys. Take care up there.
Watching your channel here from
Good to
Brazil.
hear from him
Good
and
evening.
his
What's up,
teammates
Helson? Thank you for being
starting alongside him
here.
on the pole. That's Ben Rhodes. It's been a minute since he was the fastest in qualifying.
Thank
What
you,
do think,
California
Joey
Days. It's
Logano?
always good to hear you, buddy.
Too. Ben Rhodes, Joey Logano.
I
Kevin
appreciate
Harper,
it,
Jimmy
man.
Little,
I like
Pierre
to
Fox booth. You got us?
Yeah, what a groove. Hey, guys, I got you.
Oh, man, that thing looks good up front. A couple of F-150s on the front row. It looks cool. How do you plan on starting this race with your teammate next to you? How do you play the first 20 laps in this first stage?
Yeah, well, I mean, we want to stay up here. I want to work with my teammates, but, you know, if we could get 1-2 on this initial start, that would be amazing, but we're going to have to start on opposite roads, so trying to get down or vice versa is going to be a little bit tough, but regardless, I've got enough teammates in this race. I got 4 others. At some point, we're going to link up. It's just a matter of time.
Well, you got that experience on your side, too, so good luck in there, man.
Thank you.
Keep on. Let's go, Chandler Smith.
All right, so that was our front row. Let's take a look now at our starting grid, sponsored by Craftsman. Established Ben Rhodes and Ty Majeski, teammates. And right behind them, Corey Heim. Next to him, Grant Enfinger.
Corey Heim. Heim time, baby.
Row 3, we've got Chandler Smith and Jake Garcia.
Just a little way to pass the time. Yeah,
Row
34 is rigs. You're right.
Lebanon, Tennessee's Dawson Sutton and Cars Pro Late Model Tour champion Caden Honeycutt.
And here in row 5, you have the all-time winner in Daytona, Johnny Sauter, coming back. Pretty cool to see that. Clay Greenfield as well, starting in row 5. Then in row 6, you see Matt Crafton, another veteran as well, along with Tanner Gray, looking to kick his season off with a good start.
Look at row 7, Frankie Muniz, the actor. Yes, he is full-time truck racer now.
Another really experienced racer there in row 9 with Justin Haley. Look for good things out of him tonight.
Then you see Parker Kligerman here in row 12. There's a lot of experience, understands the draft really well. Look for him to be towards the front in this race soon.
Row 13, William Swalich. On the other side of the experience, looking to gain that experience tonight.
Saw Lane Riggs back there. I don't think he's going to stay there long either. And row 16, welcome back Michael McDowell. It has been a long time since he has been in the truck series. For more on him, let's go down to Regan Smith. Hey, Regan.
Well, good evening, Jamie, and you're right. It has been a long time for Michael McDowell. In fact, 16 years since he last ran in the Truck Series. Furthermore, though, it's been 13 years since the last time we had a Daytona 500 champion running the Craftsman truck race.
Subscribe, y'all. Please help us out.
That was Ward Burton back then. I asked Michael earlier today, what are your thoughts on this race coming up this afternoon or this evening? He said, have you seen these truck races? I'm nervous. Those things get crazy out there. A little more work than he might want to do early on in the race, but look for Michael to get up front pretty quick. Amanda?
Hey, Regan, the winner of the 2022 regular season and last year's runner-up in the championship returns for his 3rd full-time season in the Truck Series. And Corey Himes'
Parker Kligerman. All right,
expectations are larger than ever. I asked him why him this season, and he said, I have the experience and I'm due. He rolls off 3rd tonight, and he said that he has to avoid the little mistakes here tonight to find success. So, Josh, does he add a championship to his resume? The journey starts tonight.
Well, Amanda, I can tell you that Chandler Smith on the other side is not entering this race at 100%. That's because last night, when trying to qualify for the Daytona 500, he slammed hard into the outside wall. He called this the hardest hit he's ever been in his entire career. He got x-rays last night. Nothing was broken, but
Sea-Dog Mountain Billy, what's up, bro?
I am hurting. My whole body is in pain, but that's not going to stop him from racing tonight. Yes, Chandler Smith, after a couple of years in the Xfinity Series, is back in the Truck Series. He has something to prove, and he said this year it is all about getting race wins and winning that championship in Phoenix for the driver of the 38 car for Front Row, guys.
Yeah, when you talk about that hit from last night, Joey, I have a tough time explaining to people when you wreck those cup cars and you've been in trucks and Xfinity, it's a whole different feeling. So that one definitely banged him up a little bit.
Yeah, I was watching that race from inside our hauler, and I watched that, and the first thing he goes, oh,
I know, flyover.
You just know how much that hurts.
I remember lap 3, we're going to honor Dale Sr. Lap 3.
Holla, holla. Doing X-rays,
in the house.
Glad to see he's
spring training.
Okay. Probably doesn't feel great, but tough. Right, you got to be tough if you're going to be a race car driver sometimes. You got to jump in and start your season off in the truck series as he's running for points, so you got to do that.
Absolutely. So running for points, he's full-time. Can't skip out. Let's now take a look at our track description that's sponsored by Craftsman.
We're going to go to MRN Radio for the start, y'all.
Laps, 250 miles, short stages, 20 laps in the first stage, another 20 laps to make it 40 in the second stage.
Ukraine
60
power.
laps to finish it off to lap 100. And then you got pit road speed, 55 miles an hour. Don't want to push that too much. And your fuel window, I think this is a broad number. It says 32
going to
to
MRN
35.
here in just a second.
They may be able to push it a little bit more depending on
Ukraine power
as well, but what they're willing to save in the pack, the difference of fuel being
you don't
used
recall
if
Dale
you're the
Sr.
leader
running trucks
versus being third in line or fifth or 10th
Not
in
ever?
line is a huge
Not
difference.
once?
So that may come into play later in the race, especially with the amount of green-white checkers we may see tonight.
Yeah, and as we look at the track description here, this is a very similar to Talladega type racetrack, 2.5 miles long. I will spit that out at some point. But the big thing to me, the difference between the guys and gals that have raced at Talladega that come to Daytona, it's narrow. It's a lot narrower than what we have at Talladega. So this place gets tight when you get 2 and 3 wide.
Hey, Regan, what are you hearing on Connor Mozak?
Well, Jamie, a tough start to the season already. And the outer tire got to the same temperature, so unapproved adjustment. Jake Garcia has to go to the back of the pack after qualifying 5th. Chris Wilner?
Well, Caden Honeycutt had arguably one of the best off seasons for the Truck Series regulars as he debuts full-time for Nice Motorsports. Won the Snowball Derby in December as a Cars Tour Pro Late Model champion of last year, and he said the security of just being in a full-time ride for the first time in the Truck Series has been really key to building confidence. He's paired with crew chief Phil Gold, who's won a ton of races for Nice. He said, this is the opportunity I've been waiting for. It's time to capitalize, and it starts today at Daytona. Alan Cavana?
Dawson Sutton is an accomplished short track driver, but he's making his super speedway debut tonight, and he's not the only member of the team doing that. His spotter, Bruce Dans, also a rookie at super speedway racing, so their veteran crew chief, Chad Kedrick, gave them homework, said, go watch last year's race and give me 5 things that you learned. How will that homework pay off? We're about to find out when the green flag drops.
Which is in just a moment to call the start for the season opener for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series from Milford, Delaware. Here's Mike Bagley.
Field comes down to the line as the crowd comes to their feet. Green flag is in the air, and we are off and running at Daytona. Ben Rhodes wastes no time leaping out in front. Matter of fact, he'll start on the outside line and immediately make a beeline for the bottom of the racetrack as they head to 1.
Rhodes selected the high groove, but was able to quickly dance his way into the lead and slide down across the nose of his teammate, Ty Majeski, who's now in a side-by-side battle for the second spot with Grant Enfinger.
Grant Enfinger in the outside lane. Ty Majeski to the bottom, all lined up behind race leader Ben Rhodes as they make their way up the Daytona Superstretch for the first time. It is going to be Rhodes leading the field into turn 3.
Grant Enfinger trying to take a peek to the inside on Ben Rhodes entering turn number 3. Rhodes said no, sir, and through the block. The top 2 single file. That's Ben Rhodes and Grant Enfinger.
They're right on the bottom of the racetrack. Is now looks like Grant Enfinger is going to decide to change lanes. He'll go to the top side. Nothing there as Ben Rhodes drifts up, puts the block on. Lap number 1 complete. Ben Rhodes, the race leader. Enfinger drops to the bottom and puts the challenge on.
Grant Enfinger on the move.
Oh, sorry, y'all. I hit the refresh. 1 second, y'all.
Hugging the double yellow line at the bottom of the banking in that challenge for the lead.
Grant Enfinger in the inside lane, side by side for the top spot as the field double wide through the pack. Outside lane now beginning to advance just a bit. Ben Rhodes gets a big shove from Chandler Smith into the corner.
Chandler Smith will now follow Ben Rhodes back down to the bottom of the racetrack. So the top 2 F-150s hugging the double yellow line side by side for third. That's Grant Enfinger and Caden Honeycutt.
Last time through the tri-oval, Clay Greenfield got a bump draft, went bad. He was running in the 11th position, pulled the truck onto the bottom of the racetrack, had to go down there to collect, to prevent from collecting others. He's been able to march on. Lap 3 in the books, the field's in 1.
Put the 3s in the chat.
The banking up turn number 1, continuing to run single file for first and second. That's where Lane Riggs is trying to track down the leader. He looks to the bottom, but there's nothing there. Rhodes throws the ball.
Here they come to the back straightaway, singled out among the top two. Everybody maintaining their two abreast formation further back. Now Ben Rhodes, the race leader, goes from the inside lane to the outside lane, trying to block both. That opens the door for Smith.
Here comes Chandler Smith downstairs. He'll pull up alongside of Ben Rhodes, who's now in the high line. It's Chandler Smith and Ben Rhodes, double wide, all four.
They're going to stay wheel to wheel as they hit the short straightaway, as they come past the opening to pit lane to driver's left to the start-finish line. This lap is going to be led by Chandler Smith, if only by a bumper. But here
Thank
comes
you guys
Rhodes
so much.
topside.
Praise hell, praise Dale. Right here on the Go CeeLo threes. Let's go.
He's got a fender out on the inside line. Downstairs, drifts up a little bit, gets the side draft off turn number 2.
And a lap ago, it was Ben Rhodes by a half a truck length off of turn number 2. This time they are side by side, dead even at the front of the field. Well, for a moment, now the outside lane advances. Rhodes tries to throw the block in 3.
And Caden Honeycutt was able to get to the inside of Rhodes, and he'll go to the lead by a half a truck length. So it's Honeycutt on the bottom of the racetrack, leading the pack off turn 4. Around goes Caden Honeycutt. On the front bumper of Chandler Smith, goes careening hard into the inside retaining wall off turn 4.
Caution is on the speedway for the first time. It was Caden Honeycutt that got spun to the inside of the racetrack. Hard contact into the safety barrier with the nose of his truck. Let's go back to Tim Catalfemo.
Caden Honeycutt's truck has now come to a stop about maybe 200 feet away from the entry of pit road. 3 separate safety trucks, now make it 4, are now immediately on the scene, attending to Caden Honeycutt. He had pulled off a really great move, grabbed the lead going into turn number 3, and then I believe it was Chandler Smith who was trying to give him a shove coming off of the corner. They made contact. Honeycutt's truck got sideways, and he went head-on into the inside retaining wall off turn 4.
And his race is going to come to an end early tonight. The Texas native will be our first retiree.
The thrills of...
All right, so there is our first caution of the night. And I was trying to get the raw feed working on my end, but it's still not working. So a wreck by Honeycutt. He is out. The rookie doesn't last too long here at Daytona. Another rookie is bitten by the Lady Daytona, they call her. So what's up, everybody? Hit that like for us. Trying to get to 300 likes. We would love for you to help us out with that. Subscribe to the channel up there, y'all. 28,800 is our goal. Hit that subscribe button, that red one there. But that number 3, we always honor Dale Sr. on our channel. Every race, lap 3. If I get busy, sometimes we have cautions, but hopefully tonight you can see the stages. Oh, I gotta put my stage on there. Stage 1. And thank you for the subscribe, Julian. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. So stage 1. Stage 1. At least you know that. And stage 1. Raise hell, praise Dale. That's right, Pop. Right now, highest running rookie is Perez. All right. All right, let me see if I can send this link. See if it'll work. I don't think it will. So weird that it won't work. That's the wrong one. Let's go here. See if MRN's back on yet.
Hi, folks.
Nope, not yet. MRN is not on yet, y'all. I wish the raw feed would update. That's crazy. Why it's not updating on my end. Refresh, see if that works. Still has Thad Moffitt on there. I don't understand. So weird. Why some do it, some don't. What happened to Connor Mozak? He didn't even start the race. I don't know. Let's see. We got MRN again.
Here at Daytona International Speedway, working our first caution flag of the season opener. Fresh from Florida 250. Under the caution, Ben Rhodes is the race leader. He's led 5 of the 6 laps. Chandler Smith, by a nose, led the only other circuit tonight. Right now, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the NASCAR Truck Series Network.
Yeah, that's so weird. The raw feed's not working again. So we'll just deal with this. Where's Junebug? He's not racing tonight.
The NASCAR Truck Series Network is back with you here at Daytona International Speedway. Alex Hayden, Mike Bagley are in the broadcast booth high atop the start-finish line here at Daytona. Dave Moody over in turns 1 and 2 with Kyle Rickey on the Daytona Super Stretch.
I'll scroll
Tim
here.
Catalfamo patrolling things for us over in turns 3 and 4. Steve Post, Chris Wilner, and Alan Cabana up and down the pit lane.
Just watching Caden Honeycutt's truck getting attached to the wrecker on the pit lane. Night is over, and he is done. Norm Benning has also brought his truck to the pit lane for a pit stop. Normie going back out onto the racetrack here as we have completed 6 of the 100 laps. We've got 14 laps to go in this stage, and we've already been slowed 1 time for caution. Alex, I'm surprised that the caution flag hasn't come out before that, because this has been a very aggressive start. We've seen trucks dancing around, bouncing off of each other, swinging and swaying through the tri-oval. Seems like a lot of nerves in play right now.
And the blocking has been prevalent right off the drop of the green flag. Ben Rhodes going from bottom to top, back and forth, and everybody doing all they can to protect track position. I agree, Mike, quite aggressive here in the opening handful of laps. Let's hope they can settle that down just a bit. Let's go to pit lane, Alan Cabana.
Well, part of that aggression from Ben Rhodes is he just came over the radio and said, this is the best truck I've ever had in the lead, so make sure you keep me out there. He also said he wanted to say, he said, keep me disciplined, guys. He doesn't want too big of a lead so people can get a run and pass him. Ben Rhodes wants to control this race because he says it's the best leading truck he's ever had. Alex, that's part of the aggression that's coming out of him right now.
Oh yeah, we forgot the Dark Horse. Oh,
so
man.
That's the story from the pit lane right now at lap number 7, and I'll be curious, Alex, what happens when the green flag will fly. But first, we must open pit lane and provide the opportunity for some takers to come down the pit lane. Here comes some that are checking up and coming out of line, seeing Matt Crafton dart out of line, seeing most of the top 5 stay on the racetrack. First truck that will come to pit road, Justin Haley. Here comes Matt Crafton. We're going to have about half the field that's going to choose to pit right now. Let's begin with Alan Cabana.
Yeah, Justin Haley, one of the few trucks in my section. Again, this is a strategy call. You fuel up now, you can get to hopefully the end of the second stage. That means one more pit stop in this race. Justin Haley and team have nothing to worry about in terms of seasonal points. Strategy call, Chris Wilner.
Tony Breidinger is in for fuel only. Matt Mills, right side tires, and Stuart Friesen, who started at the rear of the field, didn't even get a qualifying lap, and they didn't seal the track bar, so NASCAR penalized him, and he made an adjustment. It's down on his way. Steve Post?
Tyler Ankrum is in. They're doing good clean of the grill. He had some debris on the grill of that car, fuel as well. They're going to go with 4 tires. Matt Crafton, they're working up under the hood of that car. I believe it looks like a shock absorber change. He's reported about the truck bouncing on the racetrack is what I believe I heard. Jake Garcia is in again. These stops here at lap number 7 will hopefully get these teams to the end of stage number 2.
So strategy being employed now by about half of those Truck Series teams to try to figure out how they can leapfrog the competition later in tonight's race. But you're giving up a little bit of track position. You're going to have to fall towards the back and work that draft yet again.
We are getting closer and closer to the big event of the weekend, the 67th Daytona 500. Be sure to join us tomorrow. We've got triple header coverage coming your way. That'll be on the Motor Racing Network tomorrow. It'll open up with the ARCA Menard Series, Ride the Dente 200, and that'll kick off at noon Eastern Time. We'll follow that up with coverage of the final practice session for the Daytona 500, and then it'll be later tomorrow afternoon, the NASCAR Xfinity Series season opening.
I promise
United
you tomorrow,
Rentals 300.
Just got in. Doesn't look like I missed too much. Just a big wreck,
Eastern
Steve.
Time
Just one
on the
wreck.
Motor Racing Network. That leads us up to the main event of Speed Week presented by Advent Health, and that is the 67th running of the Daytona 500. Again, the start has been moved up by 1 full hour. That means we will be on the air live right here with NASCAR Live Race Day at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
It's been a fun Speed Week so far. Very eventful Speed Weeks. In case you missed it, Wednesday night when they made the run for the front row, Chase Briscoe and Austin Cindric locked in those spots. Bubba Wallace and Austin Cindric won the dual races at Daytona. And then we have now in place the starting lineup for the 500. And, of course, we can't wait to bring you live flag-to-flag coverage Sunday afternoon here from the Motor Racing Network.
Field will come down to the tri-oval, and we get the one-to-go signal as The caution flag is furled up in the left hand of Chief Starter Rich Keeter high atop the start-finish line. Lights on that blue and white Chevrolet Silverado pace truck will go out, and the drivers will have the opportunity to choose what lane to restart in. Looks like 2 ThorSport trucks are going to elect to start nose to tailgate.
Of course,
on that
MRN's going to be a
outside
little
lane.
behind.
Ben Rhodes chooses outside, and Johnny Sauter will follow him off the front stretch.
Posty, let's get a little more context to what we just saw. We saw some teams come down pit road and felt they can now get to the end of stage 2. What is the anticipated pitting sequence?
Now the MRN's not going to match it, though.
Quote, as normal here tonight.
Mike, actually, you and I spent some time with Scott Zipadelli, and he told us that he figures the fuel mileage is somewhere in the vicinity of 40 laps. Well, the first stage is 20, the second stage is 20. So by the time you run some caution laps at the end of stage 1 and parade laps, you're pushing that 40 number. And Scott told us that once they do their first pit stop, they'll have a better understanding of what that window is. I would expect those teams that stayed out to come in at the end of stage number 1 at lap number 20, and they'll at that point have a better reading on fuel mileage. These teams here can go to the end of stage number 2. What that means when we get to the final stage of the race, which is 60 laps, that will be the stage where we'll all need to make a pit stop, and they'll have a better understanding of what their fuel mileage is at that point.
As the field is jumbled up now, 2 by 2, they work their way down the Daytona Super Stretch, half a lap away from going back under the green flag. And the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series at Daytona just simply doesn't disappoint. Mike, we only were able to run 3 green flag laps before Caden Honeycutt got turned up off of turn number 4 and made wall contact. Caden Honeycutt did take his truck back to the garage from the pit lane. He will officially be out of the race here tonight.
You mentioned ThorSport Racing a moment ago. How good is it to see Johnny Sauter back? You tease the fact that he's a 3-time Truck Series champion. Johnny will dip into the Truck Series, dip out every now and then. Still has a great relationship with ThorSport Racing. He knows how to get the job done here. He will restart on the outside of row 2.
And he's driving that truck for ThorSport that will essentially be an all-star type of truck here campaigning throughout the year. There'll be any number of a handful of drivers that will be taking their turn at different racetracks around the country.
Cool,
Johnny getting the call said, "You have an interest in running Daytona?" And he didn't hesitate. "Yeah, I'll be there." And Johnny Sauter is here. He's in position right now in the second spot as we get set for the restart.
When they come back to the line, 9 laps will have been completed. And again, it's going to be Ben Rhodes, Johnny Sauter. You got Tanner Gray, Andres Perez de Lara. Greens back up from the hand of Rich Keeter. And Ben Rhodes again up to the gearbox. But Tanner Gray restarting to the inside, trying not to let Ben get away. Matter of fact, he's going to give him a run for the money, for his money and the point.
Trying and succeeding to keep the leader right alongside. As a matter of fact, Tanner Gray's got a fender up for the lead in that low groove. Gray on the inside, Rhodes on the outside.
Tanner Gray looking to come out on top with the race lead up the back straightaway, and has drafting help from Andres Perez de Lara, but the outside lane has some momentum, led by the ThorSport teammates of Ben Rhodes.
Ben Rhodes getting some drafting assistance courtesy of Johnny Sauter. Sauter pushes Rhodes to the lead. Rhodes now goes up to the high line, picks up Johnny Sauter once again, and leads the pack off turn 4.
Ben Rhodes from Louisville, Kentucky, going to bottom, going to the top. Right now he's going to have to stay in that middle lane. Bottom side is occupied right now as they come down to the line. Tanner Gray has a full head of steam rolling down to the inside.
He comes flying to the inside now, the Ben Rhodes automobile, but Rhodes is strong in that outside lane.
I'm going to Atlanta.
Shove into turn number 1 from his ThorSport
I'm going to
teammate
Atlanta,
Johnny
not
Sauter.
the spring, but the summer.
Ben Rhodes by a truck lane.
But here comes Tanner Gray back to the inside off of turn number 2. He'll lead the inside of the lines up on the back straightaway. The outside lane once again advances, led by Ben Rhodes, has drafting help from Johnny Sauter.
So those 2 trucks on the outside lane of Ben Rhodes and Johnny Sauter still locked together, trying to push each other forward. Downstairs, that's where the Tanner Gray truck is getting some drafting assistance from Andres Perez.
Tip of the cap to Tanner Gray, hanging tough in the outside, make that the inside lane, while ThorSport Racing continues to dominate in the outside. Locked together, 2 by 2 by 2 in lockstep formation, about 11 rows deep, back to 1.
Here they come into turn number 1. Again, Gray on the bottom of the racetrack, Rhodes on the outside. Everybody marching in lockstep behind them, 2 by 2, as they exit turn 2 to the back straightaway.
Corey Heim, Grant Enfinger goes side by side from the 3rd row in inside and out. They are trying to become a factor in this battle for the lead as well. Again, at the end of the back straightaway, it is Ben Rhodes by a truck length.
Rhodes gets the advantage into turn number 3, but here comes the inside line being led by Tanner Gray. Gray now gets out in front by half a truck length, making a full truck length for Tanner Gray.
As he's got a full tailgate full of Andres Perez de Lara. At the front of the field and leading this lap is Tanner Gray. For more on he, let's go to Chris Wilner.
Well, this is a critical year, Alex Hayden, for Tanner Gray. He said, I am so tired of being talked about as someone that hasn't won yet in the Truck Series. It's his 6th full-time season as he continues to pace the field, and boy, what a lineup he has calling the shots, with Coleman Presley atop the roof as his spotter, and of course Jeff Hensley now moving from his brother Taylor Gray last year over to his truck as the crew chief. They just came over the radio and said, don't be too aggressive. We're not focused on winning the stage here today. We want you to keep that bottom lane organized, and whatever happens, happens. Big picture. That's the goal for Tanner Gray right now, but so far so good leading that bottom line.
Tanner Gray doing a great job right now as the field exits turn number 4, races into the tri-oval. Here comes Ben Rhodes on the outside looking to lead this lap as they come back to the stripe. Ben Rhodes will do exactly that. However, Grant Enfinger has gotten by Tanner Gray. He'll sweep around and lead the inside lane.
Enfinger assumes that inside line leadership role. He chugs to the inside of Johnny Sauter to take over the number 2 spot. Here he comes for the lead. Grant Enfinger on the inside.
And a breathtaking move a lap ago to challenge for the top spot, going from the outside lane to the bottom in turn number 3. He now leads the inside lane up the back straightaway, but that lane fading just a bit behind Ben Rhodes and Johnny Sauter.
The inside lane doesn't seem to be able to have anything for Ben Rhodes and Johnny Sauter, who are working together very well. Just as I say that, though, here comes Grant Enfinger. He'll take the lead off turn 4.
Surging from the bottom, and he'll slide to driver's right and put the block on the outside lane. Grant Enfinger, the new race leader at the World Center of Racing. He's by himself at the front, stacked up 2 by 2 right in his rear view mirror.
Here they come into turn number 1. Enfinger is broken free by a truck length, at least for the moment. Tanner Gray down on the bottom of the racetrack looking for the number 2 spot. Ben Rhodes topside trying to hang on to that runner-up position.
Tanner Gray to the inside, Ben Rhodes topside. They are nose to nose for position number 2, 1 truck length behind race leader Grant Enfinger as they head up the back straightaway. Andres Perez de Lara part of that mix, as is Corey Hahn.
A new paint job for the number 9. Perez de Lara, Kyle Ricky, 3rd in line on the bottom of the racetrack in his white and blue Chevrolet. He's giving some drafting assistance to the 2 in front of him. That's Enfinger and Tanner Gray.
Grant Enfinger leads the inside line. Oh, trouble further back. 1 truck spinning to the bottom of the racetrack is Tony Breidinger trying to keep the truck off the wall. She'll side slap with the left side of her truck, and that'll put us under the caution flag. We've got 5 laps to go in stage 1. Tony Breidinger losing control of her truck. There is contact on that truck, Alex, but it's not as bad as it could have been.
No, you're right about that, Mike, as she's going to link that truck now directly to her pit box to the attention of her crew, and Tony Breidinger will take a big sigh of relief.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win.
She'll still be good to go, though.
As we take a look at what happened.
We see turn 4 again. Gets a little loose.
Same thing. And turn 4 to me was always one of those corners that you had to anticipate where your truck was going to be. I felt like I always needed to start having a little bit of wheel unloaded out of the truck. If you got to that part of the corner where you needed to, the banking started to flatten out, I always felt like I needed to have the wheel unwound right there, or the truck would snap the back around if I had the front tires turned too far. I always felt like I needed to be in a good position with the wheel somewhat straight coming off turn 4.
You know what happens is you start to get tight and you start putting your hands more and more left turn, and then it flattens out and your car or your truck bites and it'll make you free.
Let's listen to Tony Breidinger's radio.
Tony's name is how you would say Tony. Got it.
Yeah, all good. Here we are.
And this is something that they all have to learn, and that's 2 trucks that we've seen loose in the same spot. That's not abnormal here. That turn 4 situation with the loose and the way that the truck bounces and the way that the asphalt and banking unloads right there, you have to anticipate that. Sometimes I would just breathe the throttle or get up off the racetrack just a little bit in the middle of the corner so that you could have a little straighter exit. You can't do much when you're side by side, but you have to anticipate that loose and be ready for anything off the turn 4.
You love the paint scheme on that 9
when people
truck.
ask the difference of Talladega Talladega and Daytona because everyone thinks it's so similar. We talked about the width of the racetrack being one thing, but the other big piece is that turn 4 exit. The handling matters, and it's becoming more and more of a big deal as the asphalt's starting to wear out here.
She had spun right in front of Gio Ruggiero. Nice heads up that he wasn't collected in that. 2 single truck incidents so far tonight. As you see, stage 1, 4 to go.
Bubba Wallace won last night.
That was really
Austin
interesting before you
Cindric at
said
the line.
that
What's up,
note
Cole?
about all
Good
the
to see you.
Fords getting together on that outside line. You saw Grant Enfinger in a Chevy, the lone Chevy
Daniel
up there,
Hemrick
just kind of
in
blocking
14th.
both lanes, trying. He didn't have any help.
Yeah, he was kind of a sitting duck to the top lane. Right, for him, I think the biggest thing was
if you're going
to get slipped one direction or the other, pick the lane that you want to be
she
in.
didn't really. She just
And
hit
for
the
him,
walls.
you don't
She's
want
not out of the
behind you.
race.
You're sitting duck. You just pick the one that you may have a friend somewhere back there.
She needs to stay up, pit reporter. A little G.
Couple coming down pit road.
Michael McDowell in that
Michael
07.
McDowell.
Parker Kligerman in the 75 for Henderson Motorsports.
That spiked truck.
Yeah, and at the end of the stage like that with so few laps, that kind of gives you the option to flip the stage or stay out and race for the points. So it's that's a decision that they made for the points, it looks like.
Matt Crafton and his issues continue.
Believe so.
We'll step aside and we'll wrap up the stage when we come back.
Tony goes flying through the
Pit road is open here at Daytona. Parker Kligerman has already come down the pit lane for some service. Also, Michael McDowell came in, but Matt Crafton is back on the pit lane, and the hood is up. Postman, have they been able to fully diagnose this situation?
No, initially listening to it, I think I misheard something. I thought it might have been a handling issue, but it is an engine issue, and they went under the hood the last time and worked on both sides of it. Now they've got a crew member in working on the electrical box of the engine, which is up on the dash, basically of the passenger side of the truck. So they have a bugaboo with the engine. It's a mess. Matt Crafton very frustrated in this truck. This is not the way he wanted his season to start, and they're working to see if they can find out what the problem is with this engine on the Matt Crafton truck.
He is still, however, on the lead lap, so all is not lost for Matt Crafton if the team could diagnose and correct whatever issue they're battling down there electrical-wise. He is 31st and the last truck currently on the lead lap.
So we hate to hear that. Matt Crafton has a challenge there, 3-time NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series champion. We were talking during the break, coming back for more. Of course, Johnny Sauter's coming back. A couple of the mainstays with ThorSport Racing, Duke and Rhonda Thorson, of course, owning ThorSport, and 2024 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series champions, Ty Majeski, taking home the title last year. That's been a powerhouse and a mainstay organization in this truck series for a long, long time.
Yeah, they have, and they've been able to put together championship seasons. They've won a ton of races. And they continue to do all of that with their race team and shops based out of Sandusky, Ohio.
I made a mistake
when
in our
the majority of NASCAR teams are based in and around the Charlotte, North Carolina area. It's always been a bit of a challenge to get mechanics, employees to come up to Sandusky, Ohio, to relocate, to go to work there. But they pay well, they treat their employees exceptionally well, and they win races and championships. That's the most important thing, and one of the biggest, I guess you could call fishing wars to bring people into Sandusky.
It's a potent racing organization, and we look forward to seeing what they've got for us here in 2025. Fuel has just gotten the one-to-go signal when they come back to the line. It's going to be one lap to go in stage 1, and that's going to set up quite the scramble with Ben Rhodes continuing to lead. Of the 18 laps that have been completed so far tonight, Ben has led 11 of them. Grant Enfinger has led 4. Tanner Gray has led 2. Chandler Smith has led 1. Right now, we talk about ThorSport Racing. Ben Rhodes flexing some muscle here in the early going.
He has. He's been very good from the outside to the inside lane and been rather aggressive blocking, but I guess that's the nature of the beast here when you race at Daytona. Now, if you're a Tony Breidinger fan, she just made another pit stop. She corrected the truck, got it back on the pit lane after making slight contact after her spin off of turn number 4. When she went back on the racetrack to catch up to the field, there was a ton of sparks still trailing from underneath that truck. so she had to come back in. The crew jacked up the left side of that truck to try to correct whatever that problem was.
She has lost 1 lap and is posted in the 34th position. If you're just joining us, Connor Mosak didn't even leave the starting grid, had a problem there, was pushed to the garage. He is posted 36th. Caden Honeycutt was responsible for the first caution flag back at lap 5.
You women running ARCA tomorrow?
Is out of the race. He is in 35th. And then you've got Tony in 34th, Matt Crafton, and the engine challenges that Postman was talking about.
Matt's in 33rd.
So
for a while.
having a handful of drivers with some challenges in the early going as we're coming to the green flag, and it'll be 1 lap to go in the opening stage, which Alex is going to set up quite the mad scramble with everybody jostling for real estate on the racetrack and trying to get some of those precious points that are up for grabs at the end of this stage.
This is the first time the point pay window is opened up for the year 2025 for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. How aggressive do they elect to get? They hit the restart zone and the green flag goes back in the air. Here we go for 1 lap before the end of stage 1. Johnny Sauter really hammers the tailgate of his teammate Ben Rhodes, tries to propel him forward, but it's Grant Enfinger that occupies the inside lane.
Enfinger getting a little bit of a giddy up from Tanner Gray as well, and it's going to shove him way out into the lead. Gray now will go to second. Ben Rhodes is going to have to fight to hang on to the number 3 spot as they exit to the backstretch.
Grant Enfinger gets away at the front of the field, maybe too big of a jump, having to block both lanes, cuts from the outside lane to the bottom, does Enfinger. That allows Ben Rhodes and Johnny Sauter to roll around top side to the top spots.
Ben Rhodes and Johnny Sauter with a huge run into turn number 3. Rhodes goes to the lead, right back down to the bottom of the racetrack. Johnny Sauter runs second, side by side for third. Enfinger.
Sprint back to the start-finish line to conclude the first stage. The green and white checkered flag is waving. Ben Rhodes is going to bring him to the line, and he will win the first stage of the Fresh from Florida 250. Thor Sport Racing and Ben Rhodes striking early here in Daytona. And you got Johnny Sauter in his hip pocket, a Thor Sport teammate. Is so far so good for Thor Sport tonight under the lights at Daytona.
And here's a look at the top 10 and who scored points, presented by Powerball. The NASCAR Powerball Playoff is back. Start your entries for the chance to win $1 million at NASCAR Championship Weekend. Powerball, the official lottery game of NASCAR.
Ben Rhodes, Johnny Sauter, 1 and 2. You got Grant Enfinger finishing in 3rd. Chandler Smith was 4th. Corey Heim was 5th. Tanner Gray finished in 6th. Ty Majeski 7th. Daniel Hemrick in 8th. Andres Perez de Lara in 9th. And Gio Ruggiero in 10th.
All right, so stage 1, and there is Ben Rhodes, Johnny Sauter, Enfinger in 3rd, Chandler Smith 4th, Tanner Gray 5th, Majeski 6th, Corey Heim 7th, Andres Perez de Lara in 8th, a rookie, Daniel Hemrick in 9th, Gio in 10th, Lane Riggs 11th, Raj Caruth, Billy Volsboy in 12th, Dawson Sutton 13th, Jack Wood 14th, Jake Garcia, Justin Haley, Tyler Ankrum, Swallowich, Norm Benning, and Timmy Hill is your top 20. We'll scroll through the rest of the field so you guys can see who's where. Really shocked by Corey Heim here. Thought he'd be up front by now. I'm time in 7th, though. I guess I'll take that. But NASCAR.com's raw feed is jacked up. Again, lots of complaints about it. I'm not sure why they have it, because it's horrible. Frankie not doing good. I think they did the raw feed not to work because they wanted this Traveler sponsor on everybody's screens all weekend long. Traveler. Tennessee whiskey, baby. Tennessee. Oh, Tennessee whiskey. Tennessee whiskey. All right. 313 likes. We're trying to go to 400. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe up top there for us as well, y'all. Susan dropping those 38s. Lane Riggs not in the 38 anymore. That's Chandler Smith. Lane Riggs is in the 34. Ernest Scott says Johnny Sauter, the future of NASCAR. You buy bottom shelf liquor? Yeah, that's too expensive. I'm not a big whiskey guy. Never been a whiskey guy. Anybody else a whiskey person out there? Anybody like to sip on your whiskey watching a race? Anybody? Maybe we'll see Lane Riggs in the lead this stage. We'll see. What happened to the real race footage? We don't have real race footage.
Takers. And Ben Rhodes had a great first stage, but he thinks they can be better. He says his 99 truck is still scraping on the splitter. A fuel low, no tires, but an adjustment for 99. Steve Post.
Andres Perez de Lara is very happy with his truck. He said it just is so stable, going to be fuel only. Grant Enfinger going to race out and win the race out pit road. Ben Rhodes goes out, Chandler Smith, Lane Riggs, and Raja Caruth. Your front five off from pit road, but Raja Caruth also very happy with his race car. Chris Wilner.
Tires and adjustment for Corey Heim. Said it was really tracky in the front end, but I can't get a good enough push, and I haven't had enough help. So they made a slight adjustment on his Toyota. Tanner Gray said it was dirty on the straightaway, but I don't need an adjustment. Just give me tires. They did so there on his Tricon Garage Toyota. And Grant Enfinger, they thought about staying out. They were a lap and a half short to get to the end of stage number 2, so they brought him in fuel only, a splash of gas for Grant Enfinger.
Matt Craftsman will be the beneficiary of the free pass. He'll get back on the lead lap. That'll give us 33 trucks on the lead lap.
Kyle Larson brings his Chevy in 4 tires, Sunoco.
All right.
Really good together. How's it feeling?
Yeah, no, pumped to be in this T-Sport Ford, and working with your teammates doesn't get any better than that. So seems like all of us got pretty good speed. I really like the way my truck felt with that 99. So hopefully we can make that work a little bit later.
He's back on the lead lap, I believe so.
Just pumped to be back. Doesn't get any better at Daytona.
That's Johnny
Absolutely.
Sauter.
I'm sure you guys will work your way back up towards the front here after that strategy call. Good luck.
3 wins, 6 top 10s for Johnny Sauter, and 15 starts at Daytona.
Here with a good truck under him. We'll keep an eye on him. Daniel Hemrick, Justin Haley, Jack Wood all stayed out. We'll be back.
That 19 car out front again. Daniel Hemrick. If you're a Hemrick fan, let me see those 19s. If you're a Hemrick fan, do I have a 19? Yes, I do. If you're a 19 fan, no longer Christian Eckes. Let me see those 19s in the house if you're a big 19 fan. 19. We have all the emojis, guys. If you want to become members, 99 cents gets you access. Driver in-car camera is only on Max, yes, and it's only for the Cup. That's it. They're not doing anything else. It's only Cup. And it's not like last year. The cameras are not like last year. They're all inside the car. They're not like what the TV uses. Dropping those 9s. When did Michael Waltrip stop announcing the truck race? I guess this year. I don't know. Maybe just this race. I mean, maybe he's doing something. I don't know. We'll see what happens next week. Of course, they're all in the booth for once. Normally, they're not in the booth. They normally don't send TV personalities for these races. They're back home in Charlotte just watching on TV like us. But thanks so much for hanging out with us, guys, tonight on the Go at CeeLo. Bringing you the truck race tomorrow early morning. Who's going to be up with me early morning for NASCAR Xfinity Series qualifying at 9 a.m. We'll be up on the channel 9 a.m. for NASCAR Xfinity Series qualifying, and then we're going to go play some basketball, and then we're going to come back for NASCAR Cup Series practice, final practice, and then we're going to do the Xfinity race. It's going to be all day CeeLo. Who's going to hang out with all day with CeeLo? Who's going to hang out with CeeLo all day? Have some fun. But to do that, you got to sub, y'all. Hit that subscribe button. Make that number go up. We're trying to get to 29,000. I know ARCA. I've never really ever got into ARCA, and they're not going to have the leaderboard and all that stuff up. So, won't do ARCA tomorrow. Nope, I'll be sleeping. Have a launch broadcast tonight to work on. Oh, okay, gotcha. I'll be here. Sans the B-ball. William Frederick, what's going on? Yeah, we were a big Tennessee Volunteers fan. We got to do their games too. We've been doing them all season, so we'll go over there to do that, and then we'll come back. Awesome, Daryl. Awesome, Marshall. What's up, Luna X? What's going on?
Rolled all the way out to the grass, so that will be
24 laps complete, stage 2 of 100.
Had our first round of official pit stops. A couple drivers that have not yet pitted
all good, Marshall.
Tonight.
Keep on trying to hit that like. We're trying to get to 400.
Wood. How about this guy? Just won the stage. All of a sudden, back on pit road. They're going under the hood.
Yeah, you see, he's got
Packer in.
Packer, yeah.
Yeah, when we say Packer, they're putting Packer in right there to keep the truck up off the ground. So they're trying to put that in the stop there to keep it from traveling so far and hitting the ground.
Kind of interesting play as he just won the stage.
Yeah, there must have been something that was bothering him. The problem is, you know, is this hood pin right here winds up not getting put in.
You're just going to call him out like that, huh?
That's my job, Joey.
We did it last night in a dual race. We had the onboard. It was flapping all around. So Rhodes will drop back to 32nd as of now. Sunday, it's just 2 days away. The Great American Race takes center stage as NASCAR's greatest drivers battle in the biggest race of the year, the Daytona 500, where champions become legends. That's Sunday at 1:30 Eastern, only on Fox. And just a reminder, if you set your calendars, you got to adjust them. Everything has been moved up 1 hour because of potential rain.
Trying travelers, not bad for whiskey, Daryl says.
Everything has been shifted an hour earlier. Can't wait for it. Joey, did you draw something on your face?
I just wanted to make sure everyone saw that.
Oh.
How about this? You guys both became legends. How about 2007? I remember that, Kevin Harvick.
Yes, that was a great day.
2015. Well, similar looking race cars there, Kevin. Pretty special winning Daytona 500. I mean, there's nothing like it, right? I mean, winning championships are probably the only thing that's comparable to it, right? And they're different in their respective way, but the Daytona 500 is
Green
nothing
NASCAR
like it.
is a little yellow flag excessive.
And then you experience, and you're like, oh, I understand now. I get paid a lot more. I have to
big pace.
I have to do more work. I have to do more interviews, and you know, it changes the way people announce your name and think about your name and the conversation that you're in with the people that are on that Harley J. Earl Trophy. It's just a different group and a different vibe when you win this race.
It's been on lap 22. Some pitted on lap 7, and then the 2, Daniel Hemrick and Jack Wood, yet to make a pit stop.
This is going to be a quick sprint to the end of the second stage, and we'll see if everybody's able to mind their P's and Q's. Safety truck heads to pit road. Again, green flag flies at lap 25. Here's Daniel Hemrick. He is the control truck. He will restart in the outside lane. He's got help from his McAnally-Hilgeman teammate in Jack Wood, but down to the inside, here comes Justin Haley. They're wheel-to-wheel for the lead.
Haley, for the moment, is going to have to work on his own because the drafting help is a little bit in arrears. Now it catches up a bit, and that'll push Justin Haley to the lead. Daniel Hemrick trying to fight back on the outside.
With Jake Garcia to his inside off of the corner. Second truck in line. On the bottom is Garcia behind leader Justin Haley. New faces at the front of the field with Haley at the point.
Haley will lead the pack into turn number 3 against the bottom of the racetrack. The side-by-side battle is for second. Jake Garcia to the bottom. Up top, that's Daniel Hemrick. They remain in that formation.
Jake Garcia qualified the truck in the top 5, had to start tonight at the back of the field after unapproved adjustments, and now Garcia, just 19 years old from Monroe, Georgia, now trying to get his way up towards the front and potentially lead here at Daytona.
And he's got some ideas about doing exactly that, although they're 2x2 all the way back through the field right now. Challenging back on the outside lane. Daniel Hemrick wants a piece of the lead.
With drafting help from Jack Wood, top side and that outside lane really coming to life off of turn number 2, led by Daniel Hemrick. Justin Haley continuing to race to the inside. He has drafting help as they go back to turn 3.
Double wide, about 15 rows deep as they work their way through turns 3 and 4. It's Justin Haley leading the bottom of the racetrack. Daniel Hemrick fighting strong upstairs.
The field swinging and swaying as the banking twists back to flat into the tri-oval, still knotted up. Several rows deep, double wide formation. Justin Haley leads by about a half a truck length. They're looking to go 3 wide. Parker Kligerman the first to take a step out of line upstairs.
He'll go all the way to the outside lane, back around the 10th position, and he's got some helpers to go with him. Here comes Justin Haley with Grant and with Daniel Hemrick alongside for second.
Grant Enfinger in that extreme outside lane, that third lane that is beginning to come to life, led by Parker Kligerman, and they are nearly at the front of the field, 3 wide from second on back.
Here they come, a great shove courtesy of Grant Enfinger to the back bumper of Parker Kligerman. Kligerman right up against the safer barrier. Justin Haley moves up to the middle and 3 wide.
And Parker Kligerman on that outside lane with the drafting help from Grant Enfinger there, Ben Rhodes there, Matt Crafton is in that mix, Lane Riggs is there, Ty Majeski. They're thundering their way towards the front of the field.
Some experienced veteran hands take it to the penthouse, and they take it all the way to the front of the pack. Parker Kligerman
same race where all the leaders from first stage go
down to the bottom of the racetrack. Now slide up the middle to shut off the whole light.
Justin Haley will slide in the line in second behind new race leader Parker Kligerman. They are three wide, about 5 rows deep from third on back. Here comes Jake Garcia to the inside of Haley as Enfinger goes for the top spot.
Enfinger dives to the inside of Parker Kligerman and will drive right around him. So Enfinger now the new leader. He'll go down to the bottom and pick up Jake Garcia.
It is hold your breath time at Daytona. You've got Jake Garcia make that Grant Enfinger out in front by himself. Kligerman right behind him. Double wide for 1 row. You've got at least 6 rows of 3 wide formation. Dave, this is nail-biting time
Larry,
at the World
give me
Center
a
of
shout
Racing.
out for Rusty Wallace. Larry, what's up, bro?
Over 170 miles an hour from 4th place on back. It is 3 wide. Matt Crafton skirting the safety barrier, trying to take over 4th. Diving to the bottom. Here comes Ben Rhodes for 2nd.
Justin Haley in the middle lane of that 3 wide battling along with Jake Garcia.
Right, Bronny,
he goes down low. Ben Rhodes rumbling out of line. Ty Majeski toward the front of the field, but it's Grant Enfinger as the race leader.
They are getting after it here in this big pack of trucks. It is Grant Enfinger still the leader. Ben Rhodes has fought his way back to 2nd. Matter of fact, Rhodes wants the lead.
Ben Rhodes, after a series of pit stops and the caution, restarted 32nd. He's now challenging for the top spot again. Grant Enfinger will not allow it to happen. Enfinger hangs on to the race lead, but Rhodes and Kligerman are right there.
Ben Rhodes slashing his way through this field all the way into a side-by-side battle with Kligerman. Now for position number 2. Grant Enfinger goes all the way to the top to block Kligerman. Leaves the road open. Here comes Rhodes.
The 3 wide racing continues from 3rd on back. Here comes Matt Crafton in that 3rd lane. 3rd truck in line right now behind Grant Enfinger and Parker Kligerman, who steps out of line.
Matt Crafton jumps to the outside of Parker Kligerman as Kligerman goes down low. Now it's Crafton all alone on the top side of the racetrack. Top 3, single file. That's Enfinger, Kligerman
right behind him.
Racing is so tense right now. Coming out of turn number 4, the truck's just swinging and swaying back and forth. Ben Rhodes trying to find a piece of real estate. He'll swing to the outside lane, trying to get a run, trying to get up alongside Parker Kligerman in what would be a race for 2nd.
Grant Enfinger blocking every lane right now, one at a time, trying to shut off the run of whoever's got the most momentum. For the moment, he'll hug the double yellow line at the bottom of the racetrack.
There's a lot of momentum building, though, in that outside lane, led by Ben Rhodes. Matt Crafton tight on his back bumper as they race up the Daytona Super Stretch. Nearly up alongside race leader Grant Enfinger.
This is good stuff here at Daytona. Still 2 wide, about 15 rows deep as they work their way through the corner. This time through off turn 4, it's Grant Enfinger the leader.
And you've got 18-year-old William Sawalich mixing up now in the top 10. Never raced here at the World Center of Racing. Practice rained out yesterday. He had a qualifying lap earlier today. He's learning on the fly. He's on the inside lane, the 4th truck in line.
Sawalich has proven in the past to be a very quick study in a wide variety of racing vehicles. He has made his way solidly into the top 10 as the leaders continue to run double file off turn 2.
Sawalich right now, 4th truck in line on the bottom, but has nowhere to go as they are stacked up side by side, 3 rows deep in front of him, with Grant Enfinger to the inside, leading on the bottom.
Watching Lane Riggs. He is the 3rd truck in line on the outside. Make it the middle lane as they work their way through the corner. Riggs trying to follow Matt Crafton and Ben Rhodes forward.
We had gone back to double wide racing, but here comes another 3 wide lane brewing all the way to the top of the racetrack. Matt Crafton jumps up to throw the block on Ty Majeski. Chandler Smith is there. Others begin to stack it up. And again, Dave, that 3 wide lane is rolling up top.
And again, it's the veterans that have jumped up top to try and take advantage of that open outside lane. Matt Crafton all the way up into a 3 wide battle for 4.
5 trucks go to that 3rd lane off of turn number 2, led by Matt Crafton. They are trying to make their way toward the front of the field, and they are doing just that. 3 wide for the lead. The middle lane advances with Ben Rhodes, now Crafton to the front.
Crafton gets shoved to the front of the pack by Ty Majeski. Matt Crafton now in his neon F-150 looks at a pack of 3 wide racing behind him.
They come up off turn 4, very tight quarters racing 3 wide as they come to the short straightaway. Back to the start-finish line. They've got the slower truck of Norm Benning with no drafting help at all, about to be gobbled up. Dave, they're 3 wide racing for the lead.
Matt Crafton has fought himself to the lead and got a little bit of real estate, but it may not last very long. His lead disappears.
6 to go in stage 2.
2 by 2, extreme bottom, extreme top. The challenger is Lane Riggs.
Thor Sport teammates beginning to find each other in that 3rd lane. led by Matt Crafton. The lap
light
truck
trying
of
to get to
Norm Benning
400
just
likes,
in front of
400.
this lead pack. It's going to get tight in turn 3.
Everyone now trying to go around that slow truck of Norm Benning. Everyone goes high, but Norm is now going to be gobbled up by this big pack as they work their way out of turn number 4. Crafton still leads.
Norm Benning's lap truck occupies the inside lane. They're trying to squeeze by 4 wide. Norm's going to put her on the apron. Good call, Norm Benning. Across the line. 5 laps to go in stage 2. Still wrestling for the lead, but the veteran in Crafton continues to show the way.
With every passing lap, the intensity lever climbs a little higher. For the moment, it's Crafton with Riggs trying to rally the troops down low. Here comes Lane Riggs to the inside.
Crafton has some drafting help from Ben Rhodes and Ty Majeski in the outside lane. Lane Riggs to the inside has drafting help from Johnny Sauter on the inside of the racetrack as they come to the corner. Sauter, second truck in line on the bottom, but backsliding.
Third truck in line on the bottom of the racetrack, that is Tanner Gray. Then you've got Gio Ruggiero and Grant Enfinger, the top 5 on the bottom, but they are losing ground to the top side of the racetrack.
To the line, 4 laps to go in stage number 2. Matt Mills makes a pit stop. He's going to get back up on the racetrack and try to run for his life. The lead draft is beginning to thunder a wave as they head to turn number 1.
Matt Mills just beginning to come up to speed now in the low line in turn number 1 as the leaders enter turn 1 just now. Matt Crafton with a full head of steam. He's got the option to move down, but he continues to ride the rail.
About 15 trucks in that second lane or the outside lane off of turn number 2, and they are advancing to the front of the field, led by Matt Crafton. Top 10 trucks now single file as they move around the slower Matt Mills truck.
They'll go to the inside of Matt Mills as the pack enters turn number 3. Now swing it back up to the outside. It's Matt Crafton, Ben Rhodes, Ty Majeski, and Chandler Smith, the top 4.
A rare moment of calm at the front of the field. We've gone from 3 wide racing to double wide racing to now the field singling out, led by Matt Crafton. 3 laps to go in the stage. It's Crafton, Rhodes, Majeski, Chandler Smith, Jack Wood, the top 5 as they race their way to the corner.
A moment or two of relative calm. Virtually the entire top 10 huddled up in that extreme outside lane. It's never going to last for Matt Crafton, but he'll lead for now.
He'll lead by a truck length off of turn number 2 and up the back straightaway. Ben Rhodes right there in the second spot. Then it's going to be Ty Majeski in third, followed by the first non-Thor Sport truck of Chandler Smith.
Chandler Smith runs 4th. 5th in line up against the safer barrier. That's Jack Wood. Then you've got Daniel Hemrick, Stuart Friesen, Corey Heim, and Parker Kligerman, all single file.
That is the top 9 with Johnny Sauter now being scored back in the number 10
Jack
position.
Wood, what a name.
Single file through that top 10, right up against the outside safer barrier to driver's right. Down to just 2 laps to go now here in stage number 2.
It's not a question of if somebody's going to bust a move and go after Crafton. It's when and how many will take the bait to try and jump to the bottom of the racetrack. For the moment, it's all Matt Crafton at the head of the field.
Right now, everybody will stay in line, single file among the top 20 as they've been able to break away from the rest of the field, and nobody stepping out of line. I take that back. Stuart Friesen out of line and has Crafton help from Corey Heim from 5th.
Ben Rhodes is
goes
in
to the
second.
bottom.
It's
Now
his
here goes
transponder's not responding.
Smith. He goes down to the bottom to try to block the advance of Stuart Friesen. Now Smith goes back up to the top. Here comes Stuart Friesen with help from Corey Heim.
66 is an 18th spot.
Up to a side-by-side battle for 5th. 1 lap to go in stage 2. It's Crafton up front. Thor Sport teammates in Ben Rhodes and Ty Majeski right behind him. But there's a lane brewing down low, Dave. The question is, do they have enough time to get to the front?
At the moment, they don't have the numbers, but Lane Riggs is going to jump down out of line. He'll take the head of the class on the bottom now and try and lead that charge forward at the bottom of the racetrack.
Riggs out of line. First truck on the bottom as they make their way off of turn number 2. Not enough momentum, at least not yet. Chandler Smith, Stuart Friesen, Corey Heim on the inside. Matt Crafton leads the train topside.
Final shot to the field to get around Crafton here before the end of the second stage. Crafton still remains committed to the outside lane. He's got Ben Rhodes and Ty Majeski behind him. Here comes Chandler Smith downstairs.
Trying to get closer is Chandler Smith. He's only able to get up side by side for 3rd. Green and white checkered flag is in the air. Stage number 2 comes to an end, and Matt Crafton picks up the stage number 2 win. Ben Rhodes will finish the stage 2nd. Ty Majeski will be 3rd, and Chandler Smith 4th. Jack Wood finishes 5th. Stuart Friesen 6th, and Daniel Hemrick 7th. Corey Heim finishes stage 2 in the 8th spot. Parker Kligerman 9th, and Raja Karuth rounds out the top 10. Caution is on the speedway for the end of stage number 2.
All right. Thank you guys so much for hanging. We're listening to MRN tonight. think we all prefer to listen to MRN. But thank you, William Cottrell, for subscribing to our channel. Appreciate you. We're getting ready for a full day of racing tomorrow, except ARCA. ARCA won't be really on the screen or anything. We won't be able to keep up with it, I don't think. So, and I want to do basketball because we haven't done basketball all week. So appreciate y'all being here. We'll be back, though, for tomorrow morning NASCAR Xfinity Series qualifying right here on our channel. We'll be back here for NASCAR Final Cup practice and the NASCAR Xfinity Series United Rentals 300. So full boat here tomorrow. Make sure you're subscribing up there. Trying to get to 28,900 or 800 and then try to go to 29,000. So thank you guys for being here. We're trying to get to 400 likes as well. So help us with that as well. Keep digging, Majeski, Kevin says. Majeski there in third. Ben Rhodes. So it's a Tricon domination right here. Let's take a look. Chandler Smith in that 38 front row in fourth. Jack Wood fifth. Friesen sixth. Heim, Hemrick, Klingerman, Caruth. Look at that, Billy Voles, your boy Caruth coming up. Ankrum, Swallowich, Infinger, Riggs, Sauter, Gio, Jake, Tanner, Perez, and McDowell, your top 20. So thank you guys for tuning in here tonight. Where is Haley? Justin Haley, he's in 23rd. 23rd for Haley. Long John Silver's all the way. You like Long John Silver's? I'm not a big fan. Let's go Crafted, Mike D says. This isn't being dominated by Tricon. I'm sorry, Thor Sports. Thank you so much, Bronny. Thor Sports dominating there. And I'll look at the rest of the field here for you guys. All right, so there is your field. Stage 3, 60 laps here. Thanks so much, Keith, for subscribing. We appreciate you. Frankie, P26. Let's see. Did they ever fix the raw feed? Let's see. Nope. Still got Thad Moffitt in there. So dumb. I don't know. That is dumb. Come on, fix your crap. Fix your crap. Fix your crap.
When you join the Fresh from Florida Club. It's free and easy to sign up. Plus, you'll be supporting Florida farmers and fishermen at the same time. Register today at freshfromflorida.com.
Ben Rose has collected the most stage points of anybody tonight. He's got 19 in his hip pocket. Some shenanigans coming to pit road. We've got 3 trucks up front that are staying on the racetrack in Matt Crafton, Ben Rhodes, and Ty Majeski. Everybody else is coming in for the most part. Let's start our pit coverage with Alan.
ThorSport chooses to stay out, but Front Row Motorsports will pit together as a duo.
One more shout out for Larry from Pulaski, Tennessee.
Lane Riggs and Chandler Smith have been running well, but they need some adjustments. They need better control of their trucks. Both of them report.
Corey, I picked you, buddy.
Jake Garcia, pretty good run there in that stage. Got trapped behind Norm Benning and lost some spots. Going to be 4 tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel. Corey Heim wins the race off from pit road by a long shot. He's long gone, and here comes the second truck off from pit road. So, and that is Daniel Hemrick. Third off is Grant Infinger. William Sawalch goes off fourth, and Tyler Ankrum gets pit service here, goes off in the 5th spot. Chris Wilner.
Corey Heim had leaps and bounds of a lead off pit road because it was fuel only for him. He said, I feel like I'm good. The tires maybe were starting to go away, but I feel like I can manage it. So they made a slight adjustment, but no tire change for Corey Heim. Meanwhile, Stuart Friesen building tight off of turn 4. They made a tire change and an adjustment. So too is Grant Enfinger. They also made an air pressure adjustment trying to get this thing home. Matt Mills still sitting on pit road as they continue to work after blowing a right rear tire there in stage number 2. Made an unscheduled pit stop, and now they're going to try to work on the clearance on that Nice Motorsports Chevy.
So with 58 laps to go, that's how they come off the pit lane. What a night for Matt Crafton. He stays on the racetrack along with Ben Rhodes and Ty Majeski. We'll reset the field for you as our coverage from Daytona tonight continues.
We are under the green flag. Listen up.
All right, let's go back to FS1.
You're just like, heck, I'm taking control of this race tonight, and we're just going to lead?
Yeah, it's time to go. It's time to go. Tired of the lagging back hasn't worked, and we've been there at the end of times, and it never came up, and never got the checkered flag here, so just throw all X to the wind and see what happens.
How's the handling with the trucks? We've seen several of them get loose. Is yours handling pretty good?
yeah, Josh and these guys, I mean, the drivability is really, really good. I've seen some of them underneath me really loose. So they did a very good job of having speed and the drivability with it. So very happy.
All right, man. Keep it up. Good luck.
Thank you.
And Matt Crafton.
All right, we're gonna try something here. They're in a commercial. We're gonna see if this is more timed in with that bubbles. We'll see how it works. But thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. We appreciate you. Our first truck race of the season coming up every Friday for you guys here on our channel. We hope to have every Friday, considering our schedule. Hope to have it for you every Friday. So make sure you hit the subscribe for us. You want to join our Discord? One of our mods had put the link in our chat in the Discord. We have a great Discord. We talk NASCAR in our chat all the time. Pretty much every day. Bronny's in there. Lloyd's in there. Everybody's in there talking NASCAR and updates throughout the season. It really kept me updated because I don't have much time to do all that stuff. But you guys were rocking in the Discord this year. So if you guys want to join our Discord, we can put the link in your chat for the Discord. So if you'd love to do that. We also have memberships. 99 cents gets you access to the emojis. $1.99 gets you access to the vlogs that we do out every Friday for paint schemes and race weekend previews. And then MVP gets you, thank you, Kevin, that thumbs up. MVP gets you all the above plus a special live stream. We're going to start doing some race car video games, some NASCAR 21, and when 25 comes out, we'll be racing with that as well. We got to wait a little bit for that, but hopefully try to do some special MVP live streams with video games, because just sitting in a live stream doing nothing isn't really all that, but it'd be just certain. So sending a hug from Brazil. We are orphans here because there is no TV broadcast until NASCAR until now. NASCAR is playing hard. They will broadcast the Daytona 500 in Brazil on Sunday. Awesome. Enjoy. We'll be having it as well here for our viewers. Having a good time here on our channel. He does like Pulaski, Tennessee. It's been a bit since I've been to Pulaski, Tennessee. Look at Corey Heim, the new leader. Corey Heim, Daniel Hemrick, Enfinger. Heim time. We see those clocks in the chat. Clocks in the chat. It's Heim time. It's decided it's time to go to the front. And how many cautions have we had so far? 4. So I said 8. So 4 cautions. I said 8. Is it close to your prediction that you picked at the beginning? Heim time. It's Heim time. You're on our channel. NASCAR has Cletus in car for race tomorrow. Oh, very nice. Cletus in car. Well, there you go. Prime time hoops. Shout out to John Leonard, crew chief of the 38 truck. Sergeant Bob, yes, sir.
When we went to break. This is what happened. He came down pit road. Both of you are questioning this call, so let's get more, Regan. Let's hear from his crew chief.
JB just came off of the pit box down here to talk to us for a second. Josh, you were leading, you pitted there. We're scratching our head just a little bit. What is the strategy play right now?
It's a little goofy. We're just trying to get all the Fords lined up here.
So the 88 gave up his track position.
Before us, then we'll make some time together when they all pit.
All right, good luck. We'll be watching. Thanks.
Well, he's smiling. He said it's a little goofy. They're trying something.
Yeah, I hope 7? It works out for him, but I always hate giving up the track position, and maybe that's just my Sunday mentality of having the track position being so hard. Maybe those trucks, they feel like, are so fast that they can protect themselves, but I felt pretty good about protecting myself up front.
I also think he held his cards pretty close to his chest on that, because he really didn't tell us anything there. He just said it's goofy.
Yeah.
And I agree, because I don't know what the heck's going on at the moment.
Well, he said he wanted to line the Fords up, so he's got 2 teammates around him. We saw the 88 drive from the back to the front one time already. So basically right now, when we go back green, we'll have 55 laps to go. You
on the bubbles.
guys think that they can go a max of about 35 to 36 laps? Want to take a
TV's even behind on the bubbles.
Yeah, I'd say, we'll leave the ish in there. And I think the teams kind of know exactly what they can do, and a lot of that's going to depend now on the fuel saving strategy. But that could be the possibility of going into the fuel savings so that you make a shorter stop, because these guys have done a good job so far of racing well, aside from the early caution there. But
all right, let's do a little green flag. We haven't done that yet.
I'm looking forward to see if they can move up top and try to make that third lane work again. I think it's crazy to think that's going to work twice.
Corey Heim in the 11, Daniel Hemrick in the 19 on the outside. Green flag in the air once again.
Green flag. Let's go racing, boys!
William Sawalich in the 1 truck. Number 2 in line on the inside. Grant Enfinger has been up front all night long. He's in the 9, pushing Daniel Hemrick on the outside.
Then you saw that bottom lane get checked up a little bit. It looked like William got into the back of Corey Heim there, and it checked that whole bottom row up as they reorganize on the bottom.
Blue ovals are working.
That outside lane, they've got 3 McAnally Hilgerman teammates.
Hemrick.
And they also have an alliance with the 9 truck, so all working together on the outside. They can't get hooked up quite yet. Maybe here.
Well, you see Grant offset to the right rear of that truck. You can't be centered up on these trucks in the corners, so you have to get offset even on the straightaway a little bit to try to get the best push that you can to help that front truck in front of you stay as straight as possible.
What I saw happen there in the tri-oval, 3 Fords moved up to the 3rd lane. All one and then another and then another. But look what's happening this time. The competition's ready for it, right? And so now, oh boy, we're going forward.
Oh boy. It's Jack Wood on the inside.
Parker Kligerman was in the middle of that wreck.
He falls back just a bit. Everybody keeps it straight. Oh. Gio Ruggiero tucks inside on the inside lane.
So much going on right there. But what I did notice is the Fords working together again, trying to work their way through the field together at the same time.
And the one Ford that I don't see up there is that 88 truck of Matt Crafton. You see the 38 and the 34 of Chandler Smith and Lane Riggs right there on the outside lane with the 66 of Johnny Sauter behind them. And then you see the other strategy of Ty Majeski and Matt Crafton at the back of the field.
I saw Tony Breidinger is back out on track, so she's back there with a couple of teammates. Breidinger is 1 lap down. She had a single truck incident right off the 2nd caution of the evening.
And I really like racing towards the front of the pack. I just think that evolution of saving works out every once in a while, and it could work out tonight. But I think that when you get to the end of these races, and Joey, you're so good at it, and I think that's one reason that you became so good at it, is you always stayed up in the front of the pack to work on exactly what Grant Enfinger is doing right there, so that when you get to the end of these races, you know how to push, you know where your truck is, you know all the things that you need to do with that vehicle to make the right moves happen.
That goes back to what we talked about before the race started with rookies. Make the moves, right? Do something. Oh we got them wrecking back here.
Big wreck.
18, Tyler Ankrum. Caution is out. We do have a truck around right behind him.
Yeah, that was Dawson Sutton right behind him on the apron. It looks like some sort of engine trouble.
Okay, good deal. Anytime your sound cuts out or whatever, make sure you refresh.
Our 5th caution of the evening.
Wide up, he'll take the lead, and right behind him his teammate. Oh, 1 truck in trouble, spinning down on the inside. A couple of trucks make contact. One of them, Tyler Ankrum, he's got some damage on the left-hand side of that machine.
Caution is on the speedway. It'll be number 5 of the evening. It comes out at lap 48. And I'm not so sure, Alex, if Tyler Ankrum did not have some sort of a mechanical problem on his truck.
Yeah, I think so. There was a big plume of smoke came out from behind of the Liuna Chevrolet heading off into turn number 1, and that may have put some fluid down. Ankrum did a masterful job, Dave, of getting that truck down to the flat apron as quick as possible.
You're correct.
But simply could not get everybody else to slow down behind him, and maybe a little fluid put down on the racetrack. As we work the caution flag for the 5th time, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the NASCAR Truck Series Network. NASCAR Truck Series Network live at Daytona International Speedway. The Fresh from Florida 250 is nearing the halfway point. We're one lap away from halfway, as a matter of fact. I'm Alex Hayden. Alongside is Mike Bagley in the broadcast booth with Dave Moody, Kyle Rickey, Tim Catalfamo out in the corners, up and down the pit lane. We've got Steve Post, Chris Wilner, and Alan Cavana. We're working our 5th caution of the race.
All right, commercial break. And we are in stage 3, sharpen the chainsaw and hanging out with CeeLo. Working for me tonight. Kevin, thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, y'all. We'd love for you to hang out with us here on our channel, as we're at almost 400 likes. And we're trying to get there. 29,000 this weekend. Help us out to cover NASCAR all the rest of the season right here on our channel. MRN radio is really slow. Yes, it is. It is. They're all slow tonight. Even the broadcast, everything. Nothing I wish everything matched this, because it would be fun to watch with this. It would be fun to watch. But this is something new NASCAR has. They took away our cameras and they gave us this. So we have the bubbles. And I guess you can change it from dark to light. And you can also just do top 10. Your top 10 cars. And of course the 19, the 88, and the 66, their transponder's not working. So you can't do that. I guess you can just do the leader. He's the leader here. Or you can do the full field. And that brings on the full field. Now this compared to the raw feed, compared to the broadcast or the audio or the MRN radio, they're about a lap behind on this. But you can watch this for free on NASCAR.com. You just have to have a sign in. You can watch it for free. So, I mean, it's something. It's better than nothing. Just picture it as like our big, remember the aerial cam? How big it was? How far up it was? Of course, you don't see much, but that's how it is right here. Let's go look through the field here. Ooh. Hold on a second. There we go. Look through the field here. Hemrick in 3rd, Grant Enfinger 4th, Corey Heim 5th. See if it's on yet. Nothing yet. Johnny Sauter 6th, William Swallowed 7th.
We welcome you back to Daytona International Speedway, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series season opener. Halfway home, 50 down, 50 to go in the Fresh from Florida 250. I want to take a minute and welcome back to the broadcast culinary master of the state of Florida, Chef Justin Timoneri. How are you this evening?
I am doing excellent. Thanks for having me tonight.
Absolutely. It's a privilege to have you back with us again here this year. An outstanding and riveting command to get things going. As a chef, though, you seem like you're a legitimate race fan.
Oh, totally. And you know, I got to tell you, my guy, Ross Chastain, you know it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Fresh from Florida, you represent the state of Florida. What is Fresh from Florida, and what do you guys do?
Yeah, we make sure everybody understands what's growing when in the state of Florida and how to simply incorporate that into their diet with simple, easy, delicious recipes.
Awesome, Harry.
So many things going on in the state of Florida. Of course, the climate is conducive for growing season virtually year-round. What types of things are in season right now?
That's right. All kinds.
Amanda Busick, Josh Sims, and Regan Smith bringing us all the stories from pit road. So here's a look at the race so far. 9 different leaders, lead changes 20. Cars on the lead lap 32, and we officially have 2 trucks out of the race, Caden Honeycutt and Tyler Ankrum, who just brought out the most recent caution. As you see, track cleanup continues.
Tyler left most of his oil from his truck on the racetrack, so it's taken a minute to clean all this up. Luckily, it is out of the groove.
I love NASCAR news, but to go to the races, NASCAR local, love y'all, I'm out.
Racing on the beach again.
Appreciate it, Jerry.
It's going to be a little dusty when they fire off here.
So we've got teammates, front row teammates leading right now, the 38-34, expanded to a 2-truck operation this year. Chandler Smith in the 38, Lane Riggs in the 34. Let's get to know him.
My name is Lane Riggs. I'm 22 years old and I live in Bahama, North Carolina.
My dad got me into racing. He was lucky enough to make a career in NASCAR and the Cup Series. Back when I was younger, got to go to a lot of races. Hopefully in 2025, we get a whole lot more trophies and hopefully a big championship trophy. My rookie year, I learned a whole lot, even got a couple wins. I'm going to take all that I've learned and try to apply it and win every single one we go to. I got a lot of confidence in my team, my people, and I know we can get the job done.
Well, the thing I love about Lane is just how much better he got last year. He obviously comes from a racing family with Scott Riggs and being a part of the Cup Series, but he got a lot better last year, and I look at him as a contender this year.
Well, Lane's pulling it down pit road right now.
Yes, he is. Talk about last year. He pulled off 2 victories, popped his arm out, his shoulder out of socket.
Oh, my goodness.
Victory, had surgery in the offseason, and now pit road. Oh, no, he stalls it.
Who almost got hit by
a smart move. He saw the 17 coming in.
Heads
up play. That could have been the end of the race for him, right? Or at least a lot of damage to the right front fender and having to lose a lot more track position.
Now, was that a call you think on the radio, Joey, or is he watching his mirror at that point?
Could be both, right?
Hopefully both.
I know I look up in the mirror a lot of times in those scenarios. Hopefully his crew chief was looking at the same thing and was able to make that call. But, going back to Lane, I think he's got a fantastic future in the sport. Just looking at what he did at the end of last year, but I also like him as a person off the racetrack. Seems like the type of person who's a go-getter, well-spoken, professional. I look for him to be around for a long time. Probably learned a lot from his dad.
Yeah, and you see the improvement last year from the first 14 to the last 9.
He's got the frown on the left side, smiling.
That's just a great job, from graphics guys.
Almost 400 likes. We're trying to get to 400.
After he got out of that truck and threw his shoulder out of socket, we got to the legend car track the next week, and Keelan stood up on top of his legend car and fell off the legend car. Didn't fall off. Got up there and threw his arm up like his arm was out of socket. He's like, I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, well, it was just so funny what Lane did, so I thought it would be funny for me to stand up on the legend car and act like my shoulder was thrown out of socket.
But Lane's really was.
Go back to MRN.
Oh, let's take
for
a look.
more. The dry spell is over for Alex Bowman. 90-degree right-hand turn remains. He makes it perfectly out onto the front straightaway. Checkered flag is in the air, and Alex Bowman has won in the streets of Chicago.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver. I dedicate a lot of my time going fast.
Commercials.
Yes, he did. Josh.
Talked to Lane earlier about that shoulder. He said he actually dislocated it 10 times during his life. He said it just kept getting more frequent. So after he celebrated that victory, he's like, yeah, we need to do something about that. So the Tuesday after the final race of the season, he got that surgery. Said not fully 100%. Obviously, he can drive the truck. He still doesn't know if he'll have full motion raising his right arm all the way up. But of course, it's good enough to drive right now.
Yeah, he had that surgery. And then for the NASCAR Awards, just a couple weeks later, he had to walk up on stage. It was in a sling, and he picked up his Rookie of the Year honors. All right, we'll step aside. When we come back, we will continue the third and final stage from Daytona.
All right, third and final stage. We have 13 laps complete of 60.
Lowe's no.
And both are at commercial break right now. So you got Chandler Smith in that 38. Thank you, John, for subscribing. We appreciate you. Thanks so much. Now working. Thank you so much for that sub. We appreciate you. Woohoo! We're almost to 9,000, y'all. You guys are going to get 2 pies to the face on Sunday. 2 pies to the face if we get there on Sunday. Celebrate, because we didn't do one at 28 because we had, remember the mic went out during the clash? Remember that? I stopped talking and a bunch of people came in. But we'll be here all day tomorrow, starting with Xfinity qualifying in the morning. And then Tennessee Volunteers basketball. And then NASCAR Cup Series practice. And then NASCAR Xfinity Series. Oh, well. Why did Riggs pit? He was way back. I guess maybe some strategy, just like the 88 pitted. Where's he at? Way back here now. There's the 88. What happened to him? He pit. Is he already up here? Am I just not seeing him? The 88 pit as well. Can't find him. There he is, Johnny Sauter. No, that's the 66th. 88. Where's 88 at? Crafton. So Honeycutt, Connor Mozak, Ankrum, Mills, Sauter back there in the 66 car. We're still at commercial, y'all. Oh, well. Maybe I can't see him. 34th? Yeah, that sounds better. So weather only probably on Sunday for Cup. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do. Are they going to delay it, or are they going to, what are they going to do?
And then headed to pit road. From what I can see, and obviously from all these trucks that have gone by to evaluate the area, I think is clear. And Mike Bagley, I think we are buttoned up over here in turn 4.
That is great news as some of the drivers decide to come down the pit lane and top off with 54 laps complete. That'll give us 46 laps to go. Alex, I was checking the birthday roster today. A few birthdays around the sport, including one gentleman in particular that's been around the sport for a long, long time. Bill Venturini's birthday is today. And, of course, he's been a long-time ARCA competitor. Venturini Motorsports very successful in the ARCA Menard Series. Always a joy when we have a chance to visit with Bill. When we were down here in January for the ARCA practice, Bill pulled up a chair, sat back. We sat back and enjoyed and just turned Bill loose, and he just let the stories rip.
It's story time with Uncle Bill, and when that happens, you just sit back and you listen. Keep your eyes and ears open and enjoy the moment, and we absolutely did that. The ARCA Menard Series will kick things off right here at Daytona tomorrow. They race the Ride the Dente 200. Qualifying for that race was rained out. That means they set the field by the rule book. William Sawalich and Lawless Allen will be on the front row. LeVar Scott, Isabella Robusto, Brendan Queen, Jake Finch, Thad Moffitt, Cole Raz, Catherine Legg, and Cody Dennison will be the top 10 starters. You can hear that broadcast at 12 noon tomorrow. When we wrap that up, we will have NASCAR Cup Series final practice before the 67th running of the Daytona 500. 3 o'clock Eastern is the airtime for that. And then the NASCAR Xfinity Series takes center stage here at the World Center of Racing. The United Rentals 300 season opener. MRN's airtime is 4:30 p.m.
Field is doubled up for the restart. Green flag will fly. Lap 55. It'll be 45 to go when they come back to the line. Chandler Smith, Daniel Hemrick, Grant Enfinger, the top 3. As everybody now, for the most part, will line up on the inside line after the choose. Only 6 trucks will opt to restart in the outside lane. Green flag goes back in the air. Here goes Chandler Smith up to the gearbox. He's trying to break free of Daniel Hemrick. Hemrick now will shut off his advance. Matter of fact, here comes Hendrick with a full head of steam downstairs.
Daniel Hemrick hanging tough in that inside line, drafting help from Grant Enfinger. He pushes Hemrick away by a bumper, but back on the outside line, Chandler Smith back to the point.
With drafting help from Parker Kligerman, and it's the outside lane that advances off of turn number 2. Chandler Smith to the point. Kligerman up to second. Daniel Hemrick leading the inside lane back to third, but has momentum.
Daniel Hemrick trying to shuffle his way back forward again. He'll tuck in line second behind the Chandler Smith truck. Third is Grant Enfinger. Fourth, Parker Kligerman and Justin Haley. That's the top 5.
For the moment, top 2 are single file, but I don't think that'll last very long as they come to the tri-oval. No, that's not going to be the case. Chandler Smith looks to the inside, sees Daniel Hemrick now. He'll switch lanes. Hemrick tries to get alongside of Chandler Smith for the lead.
Chandler Smith has never been much good at second place. He wants to be in the wind and in the lead. He's got exactly his wish right now. Daniel Hemrick right behind him takes second.
Likes to go to 400
for third. Parker Kligerman and Grant Enfinger.
Grant Enfinger to the
Chandler
inside.
Smith
Parker
out front.
Kligerman in the outside lane. Was leading the outside lane, but now the top 2 in front of him. Chandler Smith and Daniel Hemrick will cut to the outside. Hemrick now looking to the inside on Chandler Smith for the lead.
Hemrick steps to the left and goes to the point right down on the bottom of the racetrack. He'll pull ahead of Chandler Smith, try to hip check his way forward. Here comes Smith fighting back on the outside.
Hemrick tried to come up the banking, and Chandler Smith was there. Hemrick had to snap his Chevrolet to the bottom of the racetrack, and here comes Chandler Smith flying around the outside. It'll be Chandler Smith leading that lap. Parker Kligerman's going to give him a pop in the tailgate going to 1.
Chandler Smith letting it ride in the outside lane with Parker Kligerman in hot pursuit. Bottom lane continues to be Daniel Hemrick with an absolute tailgate full of Enfinger.
Grant Enfinger right there in position number 4, second on the bottom, trying to push Daniel Hemrick back to the front of the field. But it's Chandler Smith right now all by himself at the point. Here comes Hemrick.
Hemrick with a great shove from Grant Enfinger. Now he is side by side for the lead. Daniel Hemrick on the low lane. Upstairs, you've got Chandler Smith. They remain in that formation.
Gives each other a bit of a break between their trucks, and now they were accordion right back together as they continue to side draft one another. This lap, it will be led by Daniel Hemrick by half a truck length. He has got a tailgate, continue to be swamped with Grant Enfinger.
Daniel Hemrick's got a very versatile truck tonight. We've seen him make good work and good ground on the bottom of the racetrack. Now he's trying to work the outside a little bit later. He's back to the bottom now. He's back to the lead.
Just in front of Grant Enfinger at the top spot for Daniel Hemrick, the race leader. Here comes Chandler Smith. A big shove again from Parker Kligerman in the outside lane. It's Chandler Smith back to the point.
Kligerman and Chandler Smith have been working well together. Kligerman shoves Chandler Smith to the top spot. Now Smith goes back down to the bottom and picks up Daniel Hemrick.
What a great run for Daniel Hemrick. New to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series here in 2025. He's running second right now. For more on Daniel Hemrick, let's go to pit road in Crystal.
Behind. Jeez,
we'll talk
back
a little
at 12.
bit more on Parker Kligerman. Actually, Mike, we just heard him on the radio say, I'm shocked the outside lane is as good as it's been in the Truck Series. He said, I need to get up on the horse and be aggressive. So that was the plan. Chris Carrier came over the radio and said, you're going to have to do it on your own because the Chevys you want to work with, like Daniel Hemrick as well as Grant Enfinger, are all going to be on the bottom. So make it happen on the top. Of Parker Kligerman, the 3-time winner in this series, part-time racer now, is trying to make something happen as he battles up front in the top 5.
Good racing there. And yet, Parker Kligerman, who has spent the last couple of days practicing and testing an LMP2 car for IMSA down at Sebring, is now inside of a NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series machine and doing quite well here on the high banks of Daytona. That is not a surprise whatsoever. What is not also a surprise, Grant Enfinger dives out of line from the number 4 spot, trying to go to second.
Wide open bottom of the racetrack, and the Finger's going to grab it. He'll go to the inside lane, powers his way underneath the Daniel Hemrick machine. Hasn't got him cleared, but he's on the back bumper of the leader.
Everybody still chasing that race leader in Chandler Smith. Goes to the inside lane, now goes to the outside lane to throw the block on Daniel Hemrick, who is up to second. Grant Enfinger in a side-by-side race for third.
And there is a new player in this mix, fourth in line on the bottom of the racetrack. That is the Toyota of Timmy Hill. He is now pulled even with Parker Kligerman in the third row.
Timmy Hill flexing some muscle here tonight at Daytona International Speedway, driving his own equipment, powering his way to the front. Now he is third on the inside behind Grant Enfinger and behind Chandler Smith, but Smith now jumps upstairs and throws a block.
Chandler Smith will go to the top of the racetrack momentarily to block Daniel Hemrick. Hemrick looks low. Smith will block low. Side by side for the number 2 spot as they chase Chandler Smith off 2.
Here comes Grant Enfinger off of turn number 2. He is in a side-by-side race for that runner-up position. 2 truck lengths behind the race leader, Chandler Smith. Hemrick now up to second. Parker Kligerman in third.
That's the way they run in the top 3, side by side for fourth. That's Grant Enfinger and Justin Haley. Haley now starting to drop back a little bit as the top 4 have broken away. It's Smith, Kligerman, and Grant Enfinger.
And the fast way right now is these drivers elect to take it to the bottom side of the racetrack. They'll come down to the line. 38 laps to go here in the Fresh from Florida 250. That inside lane, Dave, continues to be good, but they're still organizing outside.
Yeah, they are, and it's a matter of trying to get your drafting partners together, tighten them up on your back bumper. The car trucks on the bottom have done a good job of that. Outside lane, not so much right now.
A little disorganized in the outside lane. Justin Haley, the first truck out of line, leading the outside, but just barely into the top 10 as everybody beginning to huddle up on the bottom behind Chandler Smith.
Yeah, that outside lane has all but dissolved as everyone has now moved down to the bottom of the racetrack. They're 3 wide a little bit further back. That's where you find Rajah Caruth and Rose and Corey High.
Alex, it seems like that we finally got an opportunity to take a collective breath now instead of 2 and 3 wide. Everybody has singled out at the bottom of the racetrack. Chandler Smith leads the way, and it seems like everybody is just taking a moment to calm down, pump the brakes, and cool the jets.
You're right about that. Keeping in mind, Steve Post, with 37 laps still to go in this race, they are still going to have to make a pit stop, correct?
Yeah, anyone that was running at the front is going to have to make a pit stop. It's very marginal, the ones that topped off. We're probably going to need another caution or two for them to make it. And, well, why wouldn't you pit if we have the caution come out? So I believe we're going to see pit stops from everybody else. The front runners for sure, because they haven't been playing this top-off game over those last couple of caution periods.
Following up to something that Alan Cavana reported a few moments ago, the Thor Sport Racing teammates have spent a majority of the time up front. Right now, through a series of pitting sequences, find themselves at the back, fearful that potentially there could be a problem, and they don't want to be collected into it as they continue to race their way around this racetrack.
As they make their way up off of turn number 2, looks like the front 8 or 9, Kyle Ricky, are beginning to huddle up at the bottom of the track.
They have singled out at the inside of the speedway off of turn number 2 up the super stretch. It is the race leader, Chandler Smith, at the point over Daniel Hemrick, Parker Kligerman, and Grant Enfinger along with Timmy Hill.
Timmy Hill completes the top 5. Now here comes the outside lane with a big surge being led by Ben Rhodes. They're up to 4th in line and moving forward.
Here they come off the corner, breaking up ranks. Oh, look out, trouble further back. One truck almost gets turned as everybody jumping on the binders coming to pit road. Grant Enfinger with a whale of a save, woes the truck down. He was pointing towards the infield. He'll hang on to it as we have pit stops at lap 65. Let's go to Chris Wilner.
Well, Grant Enfinger was not happy. He's got rear end damage after getting tagged trying to avoid that truck on pit road. It's fuel only. They're going to look at it. Parker Kligerman is in as well, Steve Post.
Andres Perez Delara is in fuel only for him. Raja Karut is in trouble getting the fuel into that Raja Karut truck. They feel like they got it full of fuel.
It could be a lot more, but YouTube
fuel only
is
for
not
Daniel Hemrick, who's been fighting a loose condition, and also the same for Justin Haley on and off pit road. Fuel only. He's been tight throughout the night, guys.
Off turn 4, here comes another wave of trucks standing on the brakes. Now, Grant Enfinger, as Mike Bagley described, a late turn. He got busted for speeding on the pit road. He had no choice as fast as he was going. Here's the next wave. Back to Alan Cavana.
Timmy Hill on there. He had to weave through. He gets slowed down. One of the first pit stalls here on pit road. He's on and off with only fuel, Steve Post.
William Sawalich is in. Going to be fuel. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds of fuel. Fuel man having trouble getting that fuel can engaged. A little bit longer stop. He's going to lose a few spots for William Sawalich. Chris Wilner.
Tanner Gray, Corey Hyman, Stuart Friesen all getting calls off pit road after 3 seconds of fuel. Fuel only for those 3.
Problems for Grant Enfinger. We mentioned that he was black flagged for speeding on pit road. He also got damaged. He was really impacted there on the tailgate and on the right rear of that truck. So Grant Enfinger trying to get his matters corrected and his affairs in order. Stuart Friesen, Tony Breidinger, black flag, too fast on the pit lane. These pit stops coming with 33 laps to go here in Daytona.
This is fresh from Florida, Chef Justin Timoneri. Thanks for all your
messages. Go back here.
Toyota group in front of them as just a group of Fords. This will be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, no, the thing that I really like about this truck race right now, I know it looks scattered. These guys and gals are here to learn. They're here to understand how to race, and being able to make a green flag pit stop and have to do all this strategy and adapt to it is really good experience
Chandler
for all these guys.
Ben Rhodes,
I like to see it.
Michael McDowell Riggs, your top 4.
A couple of the Toyotas busted for speeding on pit road as well. Stuart Friesen in the 52, Tony Breidinger in the 5.
And there's no speedometer in these trucks. This is all done by RPM, and I think it's even harder in the Truck Series and in the Xfinity Series because you do it off the lights on your tack.
Someone tags him in the back, shooting him forward, and NASCAR gets him for speeding.
But you want to push that as much as possible. You got to remember, these guys didn't get any practice throughout the day, so they didn't get to run up and down pit road and really get that dialed in on their pit road speed.
But this explains why they gave up the lead earlier in the race to get all the Fords together. He said, we're going to get the Fords together to do some goofy strategy. Here's the goofy strategy. Now, here's where I'm talking about where they're going to make speed. See how they're catching Parker Kligerman in front of them.
Big wreck.
Screw the whole thing up.
Who
I was
is
just
that?
going to say their plan worked out
95.
until now. Greenfield hard into the inside.
Caution on the
That'll
track.
bring out our
95
sixth caution
hits the
of the night.
Clay Greenfield.
So all the Chevrolets pitted, all the Toyotas pitted, Ford's still out there.
And this is the risk for the Fords. They
Clarksville,
were trying to make
Tennessee.
time and get ahead so much, and after they make their green
Welcome,
flag pit
Rodney.
stop, they're battling it out just between themselves. But if their caution comes out like it just did, now they have to pit. All the other trucks have already pitted and are still on the lead lap. They're in trouble.
Here's what happened to Clay Greenfield. That 95 truck, the yellow one.
Turn 4 again.
Just got loose coming off of turn 4.
And the way that those trucks and all the cars go over that section of the corner, we've talked about it all night. They just get free right there.
That's right.
Sometimes they get tight and you wind up with wheel, but then it snaps. So
Hey, caution number
that loose
6. I
condition
said
has
8.
definitely popped up several times tonight.
I think it's just getting worse and worse over the years. I don't remember it being this bad in the truck series. It seems like just over time, the track loses grip, right? The asphalt gets a little bit worn out. And a lot of it depends on how aggressive you want to be. We talked about that too, Kevin, about downforce versus drag. You want your truck to go fast on the straightaways, but you got to have some handling, especially late in the run as your tires wear out like we had right there.
And it's easy to talk yourself into taking drag out of the truck. Well, I think we did this and we did that. Take a little grip out. I think it'll be okay. I think last year, we were fine. And then you get to the racetrack, you're like, oh my God, I can't drive this thing. It is out of control.
Yeah, you got to make the setup better. You got to do all these other things. We're going to find mechanical grip by doing this, this, and this. And we'll take a little bit of downforce out for it to help, go down the straightaway. But
can't beat grip, Joey.
It's hard to beat grip, especially late in a run.
Can't beat grip from that downforce.
Joey, what's the difference in the Cup car coming off turn 4 in that same situation? How does that compare?
I mean, there's a lot of similarities. I think one of the things that's really different with the trucks to the Cup cars is the side force piece. Right, when the trucks are side by side, the inside truck is going to get freer.
Thank you, Mark Evans, for being a rookie member. Mark,
you can be side by side, and it doesn't make the bottom
Thank you,
car
sir.
loose anymore. Just the way the cars are built, the bodies are a lot different. We don't rely on the side force in the Cup Series as much.
Yeah, and I think that as we see all of these incidents that we've had off of turn 4, there's just several scenarios right here. It started right off the bat with the 45 truck, and you see him just get a little bit loose and check that lineup and get some contact from the back. Same thing here with the 5. Turn 4 has just been really, really tough for these trucks to stay grip, and then Greenfield here almost followed the tire marks all the way to the wall. So very common problem, and we've seen that with trucks on the outside behind them. And that truck of Clay Greenfield we saw with nobody even around him just spun out.
You said it. Those tire marks tell the story.
That's right.
Absolutely. So pit road is closed right now. 30 laps to go from Daytona as we're under caution for the 6th time for that big incident right there by Clay Greenfield.
All right, let's go back to MRN Radio.
Best of opportunities to try to get all of the Great American Race in.
We absolutely do, and I applaud NASCAR and Daytona International Speedway and all the stakeholders for doing this and giving fans plenty of notice to be able to do that as well and adjust their schedules to get here to Daytona International Speedway or get set to get twisted into the Motor Racing Network. And for those folks that will be coming out of church, you might want to get to the drive-thru as opposed to going and sitting down and eating. Get your drive-thru and take it on back to the house and listen to us there.
Or go ahead and get that shopping done tomorrow so you don't have you have everything in place, all the snacks, all that you need to enjoy the Daytona 500. Pull up a chair, sit back, relax, and we'll bring you all the excitement of the Great American Race Sunday afternoon. Always a pleasure when we get to come to Daytona, open up the season. And then, of course, after that, we're off to the Atlanta Motor Speedway. And just like that, we're off and running in 2025. Under caution flag number 6, Chandler Smith continues to lead.
All right, Chandler Smith trying to make his stake in here for the first truck race here. Who's going to win this thing, y'all? 31 laps of 60 in this stage 3, 71 laps complete of 100. Make sure you hit that like for us, please. We're trying to get to 400 likes. We're almost there. We're almost there. Help us get there. And I hope you guys are ready to have a good time tonight. The rest of the stream, we'll see how it works. I'm working on something else to put on the leaderboard here. We'll see if it works. I'm not sure if this is going to work or not, but we'll see how it goes. But thank you guys for being here. We appreciate you. And let's see if is it back on now. Let's see.
Million acres, and thanks to
Not yet. Majeski going to be dark horse out of nowhere. We'll see. I think Chandler Smith's going to wreck again. He wrecked in the duels. I think he's going to wreck again. Well, it looks like he pit. So Michael McDowell, Garcia, Crafton. Look at this one. The number 2 Ford and this number 22 Ford. The 4th and the 5th spot. And then little G, or is that big G, Bronny, in 6th. Nathan Bird 7th. Tanner Gray 8th. Corey Heim 9th. Come on, Heim time. We need you, baby. We need you right now.
Was going to come, but is going to opt to stay out. Hopefully get the wave here. That's the plan, Steve Post.
Michael McDowell is going to be 4 tires. Sunoco Racing Fuel. Same for Matt Crafton as he comes in. Just as Alex Hayden said, some of these teams have the time to put some tires on these cars, these trucks, if you will, as well as Sunoco Racing Fuel. Alan Cavana.
Chandler Smith, Lane Briggs came in, take fuel only. Ben Rhodes was going to take fuel only. A late call meant they switched their strategy up for 4 tires. Kind of turned into a disaster. It took a long time to put those tires on, and then Ben Rhodes got blocked in, but that was all part of the strategy call, figuring they're going to be back at the end of the field anyway. Why not put 4 tires on it?
From Daytona International Speedway, this is the NASCAR Truck Series Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
All right, MRN Radio. I think they're a lot better than Fox. I'm learning that I smell a big one coming, Jeremy says. We'll see. Is there going to be a big one happening here? In stage 3, yes or no? Let me see yes or no in the chat. Is there going to be a big one happen here tonight on this stage 3? Let me see, y'all. Yes or no? Is there going to be a big one? His old man was a wild driver. Oh man, huge wreck in the Green River Tunnel westbound on I-80 in Wyoming. Oh no, that's crazy. Donald says yes. Martin says yes. Kevin says yes. Oh, yes. There will be a big one, Rick says. Yep. Rodney says, G. Lincoln, what's going on? Good to see you as well. Nope. Commercial's still on here. But thank you, guys. Thomas Johnson says yes. Tom White says, yep. 2 big ones, Billy Vo says. Probably 1 no big one. Okay. Ronnie says they're going to just be chill. Okay. Look at that number 2 now on top here. This is going to be interesting with the 2, the 17, Tanner Gray in 5th and 3rd, Corey Heim now in 4th. Interesting.
Down to it now. 27 to go here in the Fresh from Florida 250.
Justin Haley is on pit road. Norm Benning is down on the pit lane. He is getting some service. A little top off there as well for Storm and Norman. But Justin Haley now is getting tires, and obviously a full set of Goodyear Racing tires and some Sunoco fuel. So Justin will make his way back out onto the racetrack. As we have cycled through these pit stops under the caution flag, Josh Rayum has dialed in the number 1 spot. Gio Ruggiero in 2nd. Tanner Gray in 3rd. Corey Heim 4th. And Rajah Caruth up to 5th. Have not heard a lot out of Rajah tonight.
No, we have not. He's just basically driven a very smart, conservative race to this point.
This will be a colossal
and no
one.
need to
James
get up there and mix it up for the lead. It's nice to lead laps. It's nice to lead the most laps, but the one that pays the big check and gives you the trophy and puts your name in the record books is the final lap. And that's the one you got to continue to prepare yourself for and learn your truck and understand what your truck does, whether it be on the inside lane or the outside lane. Make a move or two, understand if your truck's good enough to do that and pull out of line. So, yeah, Rajah Caruth, there's a handful of those drivers. Andres Perez de Lara's driven a very cerebral race here tonight as well. He's right behind Rajah in the running order. They go 5th and 6th.
We talked at the opening of the show, Alex, about a 2025 season that features new drivers, new teams, new organizations, various changes in the like. The schedule, we had teased going obviously to Atlanta next weekend, but new on the schedule for 2025 for the tough trucks of NASCAR, going to the Rockingham Speedway. That's coming up. The trucks are going to be returning to Michigan International Speedway. Lime Rock Park, the road course in Connecticut. Trucks are going back to Watkins Glen International. They'll race at the Roval at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the first time. And we'll make a return to the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. New venues will await these Truck Series drivers over the course of the next 9 months.
Another change in the schedule is when we get playoff racing for the first time since we've done this format with playoffs. the trucks will not have a mile and a half in the playoffs this year. So that is something else that will be big for these teams, to understand what they need to do to position themselves to try to win a championship that Ty Majeski was able to do 1 year ago. A lot of excitement, and there's an awful lot of anticipation for what's to come this year.
Of course, we've got the crop of rookie drivers we mentioned a moment ago with Gio Ruggiero, also Tony Breininger, Frankie Muniz. And in case you're wondering if that's the same Frankie Muniz from that popular TV show Malcolm in the Middle, yes, and they are doing a reboot on that. Stay tuned, and he says that will not affect his NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series schedule. But you've also got other youngsters as well that'll work their way into the series and mix in the seasoned veterans and those that perhaps maybe haven't raced here for a while. Quite the interesting mix across the board from soup to nuts here in the Truck Series.
It really is. You mentioned Frankie Muniz. He's being scored 19th. He's still on the lead lap. He, too, just keeping his nose clean on his truck. You and I had a chance to visit with him earlier today. He's excited to be here. He's excited to be racing in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. And it's great to see somebody from a completely different discipline of entertainment to come and want to be a race car driver. Kid's pretty good, too.
He is very good, but the racing's been very hairy out here tonight, and he's been able to hold his own, and he's really doing a heck of a job tonight on the racetrack.
He absolutely is. So we'll see if he can keep things glued to the racetrack for Frankie Muniz, and maybe have himself an opportunity to advance towards the top of the leaderboard. Pace truck lights are out. It will make the hard left-hand turn and make its way on to the pit lane. Field makes its way into the tri-oval. They'll hit the restart zone and then punch the throttle and go through the gearbox one more time. Outside lane, led by Gio Ruggiero. His black, orange, and white Toyota tries to scamper away with the race lead, headed to Dave Moody.
Ruggiero's got a good truck length and a half lead. By the time they get to the banking in turn number 1, he'll elect, at least for the moment, to stay in that outside lane. He's got drafting help behind him. Rajah Caruth trying to organize some help of his own down low.
Caruth first truck on the bottom. Tanner Gray, that drafting help to Ruggiero in the outside lane. Gio Ruggiero, the race leader. Tanner Gray in second. Corey Heim looking to move up into the top 3. He is third by the time they get to the corner.
And those 3 Toyotas are working very well. They shove themselves out front, but here comes Caruth on the bottom. He's up to second in line, side by side with Tanner Gray.
Rajah Caruth in that HendrickCars.com Chevy Silverado. He'll lead the inside line. He's up to a side-by-side battle for third. Now a side-by-side battle for second. Meanwhile, here comes a 3-wide lane. Full steam ahead. Chandler Smith's going to drag him to the top of the racetrack.
All the way to the safer barrier comes Chandler Smith. He's got Lane Riggs in tow. He's got Chandler Smith in tow. Again, some of the veteran drivers making the move way up high.
Business beginning to pick up. 3 wide racing from second on back through the field. The former race leader, Chandler Smith, looking to get back to the point using the outside lane, and he is drafting help from Lane Riggs.
Didn't take them long to get 3 wide, and they are really stacking them really deep as they work their way through the corner. Here's Chandler Smith upstairs with drafting help from Lane Riggs. They go to the lead.
Close to go time now. 23 laps to go here as they come back down to the line. Outside lane, that is where the race lead is being held by Chandler Smith, and he's letting everybody else deal with them there.
Chandler Smith has gotten away by about a truck length. That'll leave him some room to maneuver. If he chooses to move down, he does not. The challenge is coming on that inside lane. Back at him comes Gio Ruggiero.
Drafting help from Tanner Gray on the inside lane. They fan out 3 wide further back, including Rajah Caruth, who goes to the bottom but has limited drafting help. That lane will fade as Chandler Smith brings the field to 3.
Gio Ruggiero now into the second position as they go into turn number 3. Tanner Gray runs third. They're really stacking them up behind them. 3 wide, nearly bouncing each other.
Here's Tanner Gray going to take a peek to the inside in a race for second. Gio Ruggiero in that second spot. Gio wants the lead. Gio Ruggiero will lead at the start-finish line. Lap 78 on the board. We've got 22 laps to go in Daytona, and the youngster, the rookie, leads him back to 1.
Maybe not for long, though, because Chandler Smith has got a load of momentum in that outside lane. He powers to the high line. He'll power around Gio Ruggiero to the lead.
Chandler Smith in the outside lane. Gio Ruggiero to the bottom. The outside lane advances. That's where the energy is right now with Lane Riggs in the second spot. Here comes Daniel Hemrick, the third, all topside.
Lane Riggs giving Chandler Smith a huge shove into turn number 3. Those two team trucks working very well together. They lead the outside lane.
And they lead the race right now. Gio Ruggiero making his Craftsman Truck Series debut tonight. Led a lap here at Daytona. He continues to lead the inside lane. However, he's only side by side with the 4th place truck. That's Jack Wood back to 1.
Front Row Motorsports runs 1 and 2 right now. Chandler Smith with a tailgate full of his teammate Lane Riggs. They run 1 and 2. Daniel Hemrick in the number 3 spot as they make their way to the backstretch.
Gio Ruggiero continues to lead the inside lane, but they have backslid to at least a side-by-side race for the 5th spot. Here comes Matt Crafton now into the top 5. 5th truck in line topside, all chasing Chandler Smith.
That's the side-by-side battle for 5th between Crafton and Ruggiero. The top 4 have broken away up against the safer barrier. Chandler Smith, Lane Riggs, Daniel Hemrick, and Jack Wood.
Front Row Motorsports leading the way here at Daytona with 20 laps to go. Chandler Smith, Lane Riggs, 1 and 2. You got Daniel Hemrick laying in the weeds. Jack Wood, his teammate, right behind him. But the native of Seekonk, Massachusetts, and Gio Ruggiero leads the inside line back to 1.
Trying to rally the troops down low with Gray in the rear view mirror. Corey Heim right behind him. Next in line, Jake Garcia. They're moving forward in the low groove.
Out of the top 5 last time by now. Ruggiero out of shape off of turn number 2. They got tight off the corner. A little bit of contact made. Ruggiero gathers it back up, but falls outside of the top 5 in a 4-wide battle for 5th.
They're 4 wide, nearly shoving each other into the outside wall. Matt Crafton is there. Jack Wood, Parker Kligerman, William Sawallic. Somehow they keep it together.
That's all back in the middle of this lead draft as they thunder their way back to the start-finish line. 19 laps to go. Chandler Smith continues to show the way.
This is fresh from Florida, Chef Justin.
He said, let's go, Gio.
Continues to lead, has his teammate right there with him. Lane Riggs, Tanner Gray, Gio Ruggiero teammates behind them.
And now what we see now, the teammates at 38,
28,800. We're less than 200.
They tried to make the top work, but it's hard to beat that shorter distance in the corners.
19 laps to go at Daytona. Chandler Smith continues to lead. We're going to step aside, but you won't miss a thing.
All right, so we're stepping aside for another commercial break. You guys like this view here? Do you want the leaderboard? Which one do you want? Oh, there's a caution. Always happens under the commercial break. It always does.
You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Let's see what happened here. Caution. Something must have happened to Majeski. He was in 12th. Let's see what happened. He's back in 16th still. Let's see. I thought she said 19 likes to go. It's laps. It's Jamie Little. In a Twin Peaks restaurant, Glendale, Arizona, watching the race. Can't hear nothing. Wait, you got the bubbles. You got the bubbles. Oh, it was Caruth, Billy Voles. Caruth. Raj Caruth. Does it have him on the... I'll have him on there. Raj Caruth and Michael McDowell. And, oh, Matt Crafton. Matt Crafton, too.
You crave power. You bleed speed.
Matt Crafton, the 02 car, the 91.
You crave power. You bleed speed. You live for the roar of the crowd and the taste of victory. But your ride is holding you back. Ignite your engine soul with E3 spark plugs. The same spark that fuels NASCAR champions unleashes explosive power in your ride. Don't just dream of speed. Make it your reality. Find E3 at your nearest auto parts store. E3 spark plugs. E3, what are you running?
So, Caruth. Yeah, Matt Crafton.
With
Michael
17
McDowell.
laps to go in the Fresh from Florida 250 here at Daytona, the caution flag is out for the 7th time for a big problem, the Daytona Superstretch in front of Kyle Rickey.
We knew it was only a matter of time, and it's something that we see nearly every year in this race. When we get into the final 20 laps, the intensity picks up, 2 and 3 wide racing up the back straightaway. Contact was made and some heavy hitters taken out of this event. Matt Crafton suffered some damage when the trucks got out of shape. Rajah Caruth spun to the inside of the racetrack, a big hit to the inside retaining wall. Also Nathan Bird involved in this incident. Just 3 of several trucks that remain on the scene here on the back straightaway. Rajah Caruth climbing from his machine here on the backstretch.
Matt Crafton with damage. You got Nathan Bird, Rajah Caruth, as Kyle mentioned, Michael McDowell. You've also got Jack Wood. Multi-truck pileup. Alex, also looks like Tony Breininger's got a problem. The hood of her truck is up, and she's on the racetrack right now. We were talking about this a few moments ago, how you could feel the intensity picking up, and obviously that's when things turned loose on the backstretch a lap ago.
It just happens. I mean, everybody's trying to push and shove and get the track position they need to set themselves up for a chance to win this race here in another 17, now 16 laps. It just didn't work out. Jack Wood was about the third lane halfway up the super stretch, tried to come up the racetrack, but Ben Rhodes' truck was there, and that's essentially what triggered the crash. Rhodes was able to continue on. Everybody else went scattering all over the Daytona Superstretch.
Rajah Caruth took a heck of a shot into the inside wall. He got contacted by Tony Breininger. That was after Jack Wood came off the wall and basically side-slapped Rajah off of the racetrack. But close quarters racing, very aggressive racing in the Truck Series. We've got 16 laps to go. We continue under the caution. We're not under the red flag. But Kyle Rickey, what's the damage cleanup and what's the rescue effort like on the backstretch in front of you?
Yeah, Rajah Caruth has already been towed to the infield. He's on the back of the hook right now, heading to the infield just behind me. Just one other truck remains here on the scene of the incident. Nathan Bird, that truck also took a pretty good lick to the outside wall, a lot of front end damage. That too being towed to the infield behind me here on the back straightaway. A little bit of fluid on the racetrack again. Fortunately, off of the racing surface, well onto the apron and on the skid pad here, about 3/4 of the way down the back straightaway.
After leading 9 laps of this race earlier, Matt Crafton got a big piece of that. He's been able to drive his truck to his pit box in front of Steve Post.
Yeah, when he drove by me, I noticed a lot of right front damage. When he got past me, I noticed a lot of right rear damage. The crew is working on that truck right now. They've got the big power saws out. They're just cutting parts and pieces off the rear of that truck, working on the suspension components on the front of the truck. So Matt Crafton, which started with a bad night with some engine woes, turned into a good night racing from the back of the field to the lead, has turned back into a bad night with a lot of damage on his Ford F-150.
I was going to say, it's been an up and down night for Matt Crafton. Things did not start well. They got better, and then they went worse right here under this caution flag. Of course, you know, when you think about ThorSport Racing, they've all had their ups and downs tonight. And this, obviously, the last couple of laps or so, rough for Matt Crafton. ThorSport still has good representation. They still got time to get some good runs tonight, but they're really going to have a handful as the total drivers, or the total amount of drivers involved in that wreck. It would have seemed that Ty Majeski and Ben Rhodes also had part of that. Nathan Bird, Michael McDowell, Tony Breininger, Rajah Caruth, Matt Crafton, Jack Wood, and we mentioned Majeski and Rhodes collected in this accident that broke loose 2 laps ago at lap 83.
That means there are 15 laps to go here in the race tonight, and here's how they are lined up in the running order. Chandler Smith is being scored the race leader. Lane Riggs is second. Tanner Gray is third. Gio Ruggiero in his Truck Series debut is being scored fourth. Jake Garcia is fifth. William Sawalich sixth. Andres Perez de Lara will be scored seventh. Corey Heim is eighth. Parker Kligerman currently ninth, and Daniel Hemrick is 10th.
11th is Bailey Curry. Justin Haley is 12th. Johnny Sauter is 13th. We mentioned Ben Rhodes having a bit of a part of that accident. He's still on the track in 14th. So is Ty Majeski in 15th. Tony Breininger in 16th. Norm Benning in 17th. Timmy Hill in 18th. Dawson Sutton is 19th. And Spencer Boyd is 20th.
Jason White is 21st. Mason Maggio 22nd. Frankie Muniz 23rd. And the last truck on the lead lap in 24th currently is Josh Rayum. 1 lap down, being scored at the moment right now. 25th is Grant Enfinger. Stuart Friesen is 26th. Matt Crafton 27th. Michael McDowell 28th. That will continue to change as Jack Wood is up there. Michael McDowell, Rajah Caruth will be scored in the 30th spot.
Also, Nathan Bird, we mentioned in that accident as well. Matt Mills has had some challenges tonight. He's 5 laps down in 32nd.
We went to
Clay
dinner
Greenfield
earlier.
out of the race in 33rd. Connor Mosack, Tyler Ankrum, Caden Honeycutt in positions 34th, 35th, and 36th, respectively. We are still under the caution flag with 15 laps to go.
Good morning, guys. I just want to...
All right, who's going to win this thing? Let me see. You got 7 cautions now. Welcome to the new season. Yes, sir. Who's going to win this? Let me see who you got. I said Heim Time. We never really did our third stage picks. Is just me or the radio announcer is more entertaining than TV announcers? Well, especially on Fox. Zach says. Yes, that's why we're on more MRN tonight. Probably do MRN a lot for the truck series. Go back and forth. All right, let's go. Beer 30. Yes, sir. Dale Jarrett's winning. The 17, Mad Steve's got Gio winning. Oh, Lord. Let's see what happens. Who's going to win this sucker? Does Lane Riggs make a move on Chandler Smith? Chandler Smith is the leader of the race. 12 leaders, 28 lean changes, 25 cars on the lead lap, 7 cautions. The 77 for the Shiznit. Holla, what's up, Nick? Klingerman says James. Martin says the 38. No clue, says Kevin. All right, let's go back here to MRN.
The pit lane tending to matters as we continue under the caution flag. 14 laps remain from Daytona International Speedway. This is the NASCAR Truck Series Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
Man, they like to do commercials on this sucker, don't they?
Chandler Smith can hang on and take the win at Daytona.
They're going to go to a commercial too. Okay, so at this moment we have 15, what, about 14 laps to go? 13 laps to go now. 13 laps to go. Can we get to 500 likes? If you guys haven't hit the like yet for us, could you get us to 500 likes before the stream's over? It would be great to have 500 likes on this stream. And also subscribe up there. We're going to be doing all day tomorrow except the ARCA. And we'll have the, what else we're going to have? We're going to have qualifying tomorrow morning early, 9 a.m. Xfinity qualifying right here, 9 a.m. So make sure you guys are here with us with that. Also, we're going to have final cup practice here and Xfinity race here tomorrow. So make sure you're here. Speed Weeks for us has been huge so far. We've been really enjoying it. So thank you guys so much for another great year. I'm trying to get to 500. So 54 to go to 500. Help us get there. Jeremy says, I smell a flip coming. Gregory's like, G-O, G-O, G-O. As this right here, if you guys are wondering, this is the new Bubbles leaderboard map. Shows you where all your cars are. It's more helpful in the super speedways. I don't know how well it'll be on a regular track, like a mile or half mile. That'll be kind of different. But it's fun. We got the leaderboard over there on the other side. Just playing around with things. The raw feed's not working tonight. So, but maybe I'll create a window where we go back and forth with that and then the leaderboard. It's hard to believe another big one when the last are all on the run. Here we go.
He's the race leader. He's got his teammate right there with him in Lane Riggs. Then it's Tanner Gray, Gio Ruggiero, and Jake Garcia, your top 5. William Sawalich. Andres Perez de Lara is 7th. Corey Heim, 8th. Parker Kligerman, 9th, and Daniel Hemrick, 10th.
Yeah, you talk about Chandler Smith and Lane Riggs, 1 and 2. How about Front Row Motorsports, the expansion to 2 teams in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series? Lane Riggs really having great runs last year. Had a chance to catch up with Father Scott, who used to be a mainstay in what was the NASCAR Busch Series back in the day. Here's a little something for you. You know, Scott Riggs, he drove in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, told me today that they've just moved into the old Ultra Motorsports shop, a shop where he raced in 24 years ago when he started his Truck Series career. Talking about everything coming full circle. It's spectacular to see that.
Super
it
chat
really
button.
is, and it's great to see Lane Riggs. You know, he had his rookie struggles at the beginning and mid stages of last year, but things clicked. Just all of a sudden, that light bulb went off. Learned how to drive these big, high center of gravity, high horsepower trucks to be able to get to victory lane multiple times towards the end of the year.
Now they got to bring these trucks home in one piece. Good luck with all that, because we've got a lot of racing left to go here tonight in Daytona. Pace truck is about to hit the pit lane, and again, 12 laps remain to settle it tonight under the lights at the World Center of Racing. Chandler Smith, Tanner Gray, you've got Lane Riggs and others stacked up there as well. Chandler getting a huge shove from Lane. That'll give him the shove into the clean air. But Dave, here comes Tanner Gray digging hard down low.
Tanner Gray's got some help down low, and he's got the lead. As a matter of fact, they surge ahead. Tanner Gray to the number 1 spot as that low line really got the jump as they entered the banking. Giovanni Ruggiero.
Gio Ruggiero now looking for the race lead as Gray goes to the outside lane. Lane Riggs nearly 3 wide for third. Here comes Gio Ruggiero to the inside of Gray in 3.
Ruggiero to the inside. Tanner Gray to his right shoulder. They remain wheel to wheel for the race lead. Here comes William Sawalich snuggling up right behind Gio Ruggiero.
Sawalich making his Daytona debut here tonight. He wants a piece of the action at the front of the field. At the front of the field, the race leader this time by with 11 laps to go. What a race we got going on. It's going to be Ruggiero pulling the field to 1.
Gio Ruggiero's got the lead, but he's got no drafting help. Now they go 3 wide behind him. 3 wide for second, 3 wide for fifth, 3 wide further back. 5 rows of 3 now breaking out.
Chandler Smith in the third lane leads the way. Top side trying to take that second spot away as the 3 wide racing continues with William Sawalich to the inside. And in the middle, Tanner Gray all behind Gio Ruggiero.
Gio Ruggiero trying to block all those 3 lanes of traffic. He works the middle part of the racetrack through turn 3. Now goes back down to the bottom and throws the block on William Sawalich.
Tanner Gray gets the boost right up the gut now. He's got Corey Heim giving him drafting help as those two inch closer and closer, trying to take the lead away from Gio Ruggiero. You've also got William Sawalich in the mix. Parker Kligerman is there. It's a free fall for the lead at Daytona with 10 to go.
Tanner Gray goes to the outside now, trying to make the attack on Ruggiero, but he's lost his drafting help. Nobody on the back bumper. Ruggiero gets away with William Sawalich in tow.
Top 2 trying to break away from the rest of the field. That is stacked up 2 and 3 wide up the Daytona super stretch. William Sawalich now little drafting help. He fades. Here comes Jake Garcia through the middle to third.
Jake Garcia pokes the nose of his Ford F-150 right up the middle. Now he's got Justin Haley and others behind him. Garcia still 3 wide for third.
9 laps to go this time by in the Fresh from Florida 250 season opener for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Gio Ruggiero making his Craftsman Truck Series debut tonight. He's got the field in the rear view mirror.
Crunch time at Daytona, and the gloves are coming off. Gio Ruggiero blocks the path of Tanner Gray in that outside lane. Here comes Chandler Smith. He's got a trunk full of his teammate Lane Riggs as they power up the inside.
Lane Riggs right there in the 5th spot on the back bumper. Second truck in line on Chandler Smith, who leads the bottom outside lane. They have the numbers right now, led by Gio Ruggiero and Tanner Gray.
Third in line on the outside lane is Corey Heim. 4th behind the machine of Corey Heim. That's Daniel Hemrick, Andres Perez de Lara. That's how they run in the top 5.
The Front Row Motorsports teammates of Chandler Smith and Lane Riggs had started a run, but that got shut down about 3/4 of a lap ago. They're giving it all they've got, but they've fallen out of the top 5 as the rookie Gio Ruggiero takes them back to the corner with 8 laps to go.
Low line is plummeting backward toward the tail end of the top 5, led by Chandler Smith and Lane Riggs. They'll look for drafting help to try and regroup as Gio Ruggiero leads off 2.
Leads by a truck length, and all those trucks that were on the bottom a couple of laps ago have migrated to the outside lane. Single file formation among the top 12 trucks. Gio Ruggiero, the race leader. Tanner Gray, Corey Hyman, Daniel Hemrick.
Daniel Hemrick running 4th in line, snuggles up right behind Corey Heim, the 3rd place truck behind Daniel Hemrick. That's where you find the Bailey Curry Chevrolet Silverado.
The game of poker is on now with 7 to go because the entire front draft has now migrated single file to the outside lane. It continues to be Gio Ruggiero, Tanner Gray, Corey Hyman, Daniel Hemrick.
You can hear the time bomb ticking right now. If you're Gio Ruggiero, you know somebody's going to bust a move and come out of line, and it's going to happen right now. Here comes Grant Enfinger back around the 8th spot. He'll go to the bottom of the racetrack.
It's only 2 trucks right now on the bottom behind Grant
Five
Enfinger
drivers
and
have won
Parker
their first
Kligerman.
career start
Everybody
ever.
else to the top of the racetrack. Enfinger will fall outside of the top 10 as the leaders steam to turn 3.
When will they make the move as they head to turn number 3? Right now, the top 10 trucks remain in line. Grant Enfinger still fighting hard on the bottom. He's got Parker Kligerman trying to give him some assistance.
When the leaders come to the line and the field crosses the start-finish line, it'll be 6 laps to go. The calm before the storm. Everybody in the front dozen are single file. They are nose to tail. But Dave, like you mentioned, the question is, when will the move come and who will make that move?
The longest 6 laps of Gio Ruggiero's young life are about to come here at Daytona as he leads the field off turn 2.
He continues to lead in his series debut here tonight at the front of the field by a truck length over Tanner Gray, Corey Heim, Daniel Hemrick, Bailey Curry in the top 5 right now, just in front of Johnny Sauter.
Johnny Sauter runs 6th, 7th in line on the outside lane. That's Ty Majeski. Ben Rhodes is 8th. Andres Perez de Lara 9th. Lane Riggs completes the top 10.
Outside lane stays the fast lane for the moment. Back down to the start-finish line. 5 laps to go now here at Daytona. Breaking out of line is Ben Rhodes, Grant Enfinger, Parker Kligerman. They're beginning to get some numbers at the bottom of the racetrack.
Time to move for those inside line drivers. Time is growing short. Jumping down into that low lane, trying to make their way forward. Gio Ruggiero can see him coming. Will he cross over? He will not as of now.
Here comes Bailey Curry, the first truck now in line on the bottom, looking to fight his way into the top 2, and he has drafting help by Ben Rhodes on the backstretch. Bailey Curry to the lead in 3.
Bailey Curry with some nice assistance behind him goes to the lead here at Daytona. Ben Rhodes now goes to 2nd. Here's Grant Enfinger ducking out of line. He jumps up to the outside.
Bailey Curry comes out of turn number 4. It'll be the 29th lead change tonight in Daytona. The record for the series is 31. Could be a record-setting night. Bailey Curry now under fire. Grant Enfinger to the top of the racetrack in 1.
Enfinger swoops to the outside lane, goes after Bailey Curry. We barely mentioned Curry tonight, but here at crunch time, he's in the running. Enfinger gets kicked 3 wide. He's going to go backward.
3 wide battle with Gio Ruggiero, the former race leader who was kicked out of line a lap ago. He's trying to fight his way back into the top 5. New leader by the time they get to turn 3. Here comes Ben Rhodes with help from Parker Kligerman.
Those 2 will go to the lead. 3rd right now is the machine of Lane Riggs. The top 3 single file on the bottom of the racetrack. It's Rhodes, Kligerman, and Riggs.
3 laps to go this time by. The leaders now migrate to the bottom of the racetrack. There's still a double lane. That is about the 4th position. Race leader is Ben Rhodes. Parker Kligerman on his back bumper. On that tailgate then is going to be Lane Riggs headed to 1.
Lane Riggs running by himself for the moment in the 3rd spot. Then a couple of truck lengths back to his teammate Chandler Smith, who's in a side-by-side battle for position number 4. Here they come off turn number 2.
Tanner Gray to his outside, battling for that 4th position. Gray leads the outside lane. Well, at least he did. Here comes Parker Kligerman now. Cuts to the outside and goes to the race lead, taking the top spot from Ben Rhodes.
What a move by Parker Kligerman. Here comes Ben Rhodes, though, to his left shoulder. Ben Rhodes will grab the lead back. He's got Lane Riggs all over his back tailgate.
Front Row Motorsports trying to get the job done. They got shuffled out of the draft a handful of laps to go, but here they are making noise at the front of the field. Lane Riggs to the bottom of the racetrack. He's trying to get to the back bumper of Ben Rhodes, but here comes Kligerman to the outside.
Parker Kligerman storms to the high groove. Drafting help from Tanner Gray. Behind him, Corey Heim. They are side by side for the lead as they hit the back straightaway.
3 wide for 7th on back as the race leaders have double double wide formation up the back straightaway. Parker Kligerman leading the outside lane. Ben Rhodes on the inside lane with traffic help from Lane Riggs.
Double wide, about 20 rows deep as they go to turn number 3. Ben Rhodes and Lane Riggs working together on the bottom. Upstairs, you've got Parker Kligerman and Tanner Gray.
Side by side, Ben Rhodes down low. Parker Kligerman gets the run on the outside. White flag is in the air. 2.5 miles to go. Next flag will end the race, whether it be yellow or checkered. Who's it going to be tonight at the World Center of Racing?
Side by side, inches apart into turn 1 on the final lap. Johnny Sauter looking to go 3 wide to the outside. Sauter is up to the number 4 spot. Side by side for the lead. Kligerman up high. Down low, Ben Rhodes.
With a lap truck in ahead of the race leaders trying to get off the racetrack. Here they come, steaming to turn number 3 for the final time. Rhodes out of shape into the corner. Rhodes will spin to the inside of the racetrack with Kligerman up front.
Can they all make it back to the flag? Parker Kligerman is the leader, but now they're wrecking behind him. Lane Riggs gets turned. He's in the outside wall. More truck spin off floor.
Caution flag is on the speedway. The field will be frozen on the short straightaway coming to this checkered flag. Caution and checkers in the air. Again, halfway down the short straightaway, headed to the tri-oval. When the caution lights came on, that freezes the field.
30 lights to go
It's
to
awfully
500.
close.
Help us get there.
Parker
30 to go.
Kligerman was close to being at the front of the field. We'll wait for NASCAR to our left and race control beginning to huddle around the screens.
We could see that coming at the end of the Daytona Superstretch. Kyle Rickey, they were bouncing off each other, then they begin to spin out of control.
Ben Rhodes was the first of those trucks to spin out of control as the trucks entered turn number 3. Contact was made, but Rhodes spun well off of the racetrack. Leaders had plenty of room, that is, to race around him onto the banking of turns 3 and 4, and then more trouble broke out in front of Tim Catalfamo.
Yeah, they really all started stacking up once they got into turn number 3. Lane Riggs was the first driver that I saw get turned sideways. Andres Perez de Lara got spun, and then it was on from there. Several other pickup trucks all got swept up in what seemed like a huge cloud of smoke and dust as they came off turn 4.
That is the way it is. NASCAR has looked at the tape when the caution came out and froze the field. Parker Kligerman has won the Fresh from Florida 250 at the Daytona International Speedway. Parker Kligerman will celebrate with a win here in the season opener at Daytona.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the NASCAR Truck Series Network.
Wow, what a race, y'all. That was fun. That was fun.
Lower tonight than normal.
And didn't look like it was easy to drive, whether they're getting pushed or just driving by themselves.
You did, James.
So, fun watch.
Henderson Motorsports, 3rd career win. Charlie Henderson, of course, thinking about him. Team owner, under the weather. God, this has got to bring a smile to his face.
Yeah, and this team has been in and out of the Truck Series for several years. You see Food Country on the side of this truck has been a big supporter of this program for a long time.
Well, that was fun.
Parker's going to be excited.
Yes, he is. Big machine spiked coolers on board with him. Part-timer did a great job tonight. He did it.
Nothing like
Too bad NASCAR didn't throw a caution in 2007.
It's just it's the coolest place you can get the checkered flag.
And the fact that really, if you know what you're doing, you bring a solid truck, big team, small team, it doesn't matter.
You're welcome,
this
everybody.
small team just won the Craftsman Truck Series race at Daytona. So many hugs all around.
He doesn't get any points.
Lane Riggs frustrated. One of the trucks that wrecked there on the last lap. There were a lot of them.
Yeah, and those guys did a great job all night.
Riggs is
Lane
mad at somebody.
And Chandler Smith did a great job.
Oh, here we
go. You see all those really young guys that are gonna have a long career and everything that's happening. See them shake hands right there, and that's the tough part about this. You can have a great night and just not get to the finish line.
Steve.
Wind up finishing 18th like Lane Riggs did.
Well, if you never heard about Gio Ruggiero, you have now. That was really impressive. He's in this series full-time. What a debut tonight.
Welcome, Kelly.
The helmet is off. One happy winner. Regan Smith is there.
Awesome, Zach.
Well, Jamie Little, it has been one heck of a celebration down here on the front stretch. Parker Kligerman returns to Henderson Motorsports this year on a part-time basis. Parker, this is Daytona. You just won at Daytona, bud.
Daytona, Regan, come on! Let's go! Biggest win of my entire life. Thank you, Don and Charlie Henderson. I wish they were here right now. Scott, we did it finally! Scott Borchetta, thank you for giving us this beautiful truck. Chris Carrier, who makes this whole thing happen, but man, I'm out of breath. I can't believe it. I just was making moves and just like, I don't know, I just, every move I made felt like it worked. And for some reason, it really did. These guys built an amazing truck. I can't believe we're here. Thank you, Spike Coolers. Finally get them in victory lane after the last 2 years. It means a lot, but this has been so close the last couple years. This means so much. To win the biggest place, we're just doing all the TV stuff today. Talking about how much this place means and all of you fans here at Daytona, thank you so much. God, I love this place.
Thanks, Kevin.
I love racing, I love winning. I'm ready for the next chapter of my life, but this one means a lot. Happy Valentine's Day to all the moms out there as well. Love you, Mom.
We love your excitement. Parker Kligerman wins in the Craftsman Truck Series race at Daytona.
What race was it, y'all, that he was going to win and he did not win? Which one was it?
And off camera, Corey Heim has been just giving so much praise to Gio Ruggiero tonight and how well he did out there. And Corey, I know you were a little bummed over the radio after this race, but your team reminded you it was a great points day and the future is ahead. How would you summarize it?
Yeah, no doubt. Nothing short of crazy there the last 20 laps. Honestly, pretty impressed with everyone that we kept it straight for as long as we did. Of course, they powered it up a little bit on the last lap, but compared to last year, it was such a big upgrade as far as the quality of racing. Definitely was out of control there at the end, just with being 3 wide middle and old tires being free. But yeah, like you said, hats off to Gio and Tanner. William was there up there with us at the end, and everyone did a really good job here at Tricon Garage. Huge thank you to Toyota as well. Our Tundra Tier Pro was really good all night. I feel like we put ourselves in good position. Scott Zibadillo did a great job up in the box, and take our safe flight Tundra to Atlanta and try to get one better.
We'll see you there.
Thanks.
Gotta love that emotion from Parker Kligerman. Planting the flag in the infield.
Not
so
too
let's take a
bad for
look
a pit
back
reporter.
from the overhead shot and see where it all started here.
Well, you see, they're obviously 3 wide off of turn 2, and as they head down the backstretch, Parker in the top lane right there. You see the 66 of Sauter and the trucks behind him start to get kind of all over the place, and then they finally got each other out of control in the bottom lane and shot them up the racetrack into the 66, and that kind of turned it all into a mess.
Yeah, I really thought down the back straightaway there, that top lane with Johnny Sauter had the gap
next week
to
Are they off?
Parker. He was out there pretty far, had the push coming to him. That was going to be the run that was going to take the lead right here down the back straightaway. I thought that run right there, he was going to clear to 99. He was going to be able to get underneath him, but the push wasn't clean, and that's really what changed everything. And all the other pushes weren't clean either.
Atlanta next week, y'all. Atlanta.
When you get to the end of these races, you just push until something happens, and that's what happened right there. And you just have the biggest pushes that you've had all night. But this is also the reason that you want to be the leader. Just as we talked earlier in the race, you want to be in the lead to take control in case this happens, because 9 times out of 10 it does.
See you, shoes net.
And this is the second crash, if you will. There was one down the back straightaway, and then it kind of kept going.
I'm almost got it.
You see that 99 truck gets shot up the racetrack into the side of the 66. Unbelievable shots.
Well, after it was all said and done, it was all about Parker Kligerman getting the win. It's been a great night for Joey Logano, Kevin Harvick, Amanda Busick, Josh Sims, Regan.
All right, so that is it, y'all. Hope you had a great time. We had a blast. Learned some things about how this all works. Let's see what the raw feed's doing. Oh, Timmy Hill's still in the lead. Get your act together, NASCAR. This is ridiculous. Get your act together. Timmy Hill's still in the lead here on the raw feed, y'all. So dumb. We want our raw feedback, aka every race fan in America. Give us our raw feedback. All right, guys. Thank you so much. As I went through the field already, but Klingerman wins. What a great win for him. Not too bad for a pit reporter. Corey Heim, Gio finishes third. He got ousted there, and he went all the way to the back, but made his way back. That car's fast. Ty Majeski fourth, Grant Enfinger fifth, Haley sixth, Chandler seventh, Daniel Hemrick eighth, Jason White, look at that, and Swallowich gets a top 10. Look at Frankie Munoz. Look at that. Not too bad for a childhood TV star. Mason Maggio. There's Andres Perez de Lara, another rookie in the top 20. Johnny Sauter. Lane Riggs got shuffled there at the end with that wreck. Ben Rhodes, Tanner Gray, Stuart Friesen, Jack Wood, Dawson Sutton. There's Michael McDowell. He finished 27th. There's Tony. Finished 29th. Had a wreck there earlier in the race. Raj Karuth as well wrecked. All these cars here wrecked. So, all right, y'all. 8 cautions. I called it 8 cautions. Yay! CeeLo called it. Everybody called 8 cautions. Congratulations. We're 3 likes away from 500. Help us get there. Help that subscribe too as well. We would love to get some more subscribers. Let's see, we're less than 200 away from 29,000. So we did it. Almost there. Almost there. Not on my screen yet. Over 25,000 views. We'll take that. Appreciate y'all tonight. Thumbs up. Hit that. Hit that. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. All right. Thanks for the subs, guys. All right. All right, so that concludes the first race of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series for their year. And Chandler, now he doesn't get any points for it, but Parker Klingerman only running a part-time deal, so he doesn't get any points for it. But Corey Heim should be the leader. But we'll be back next Saturday for Trucks and Xfinity on Saturday. So that should be interesting, a doubleheader. And then we'll see how that goes. But thank you guys so much. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for NASCAR Xfinity Series qualifying right here for the United Rentals 300 pole. So we'll see how that goes. And then we'll go from there. Hope you guys had a great day. Happy Valentine's Day to every single one of you guys out there. Make sure you go give your loved ones a hug or a kiss, or your mom, your dad, your wife, your girlfriend, or boyfriend, or whoever. Make sure you tell them you love them. So, and I want to thank my mom for watching. I know she's out there watching. Love you. Happy Valentine's Day to you. Spain, always. She took care of me today during my appointments, and I'm going to go get in a hot tub with Spain and have some fun. So hope you guys had a good time. Thank you so much for everything. I want to thank my mods for moderating. I want to thank my members for their hard-earned money. I want to thank a couple of our... Mark Evans became a member tonight. John subscribed. Robert subscribed. Bigfoots. Keith, William, Julian, Deb, Chad, and a whole bunch of other private subscribers. We thank you so much for subscribing here. So we'll see you tomorrow for some racing all day at Daytona. And that's it. Love you guys. Take care. Be safe if you're going out on this Valentine's Friday. And we'll see you in the morning. Bring some coffee. It's going to be early. Peace out. Peace. Anybody streaming?